Harvey in the middle with Macca, Andrew Jarman. And you're right, Tim. Craig Potter is, in fact, sitting in Andrew Newton-Jarman's hip pocket. You were right. So Potter's picking him up. And Holm in the middle there also for the Bulldogs, the former Tasmanian.
Well, Cage, playing Harvey and the McIntosh and Jarman in there, I don't suppose there's a spot for Rowie, especially at the first bounce.
No, well, I'm surprised that Rowie's on the bench, I can tell you. We'll wait for the siren to start the first quarter here at the Elizabeth Oval. It should be a beauty. There's the siren for the first quarter, the start of the big game between the Doggies and the Legs. Arnold and Big Easto, they'll go at it man-to-man, toe-to-toe. The bounce down's a beauty. The bodies collide. Easto gets it down to Macca, tries to crash the pack, and he is besieged with Bulldog players. And Macca, there he is, laying on the ground, gets to his feet ever so slowly. Typical Macca. Took it under his wing and tried to crash through the pack. Back with the umpire once again. He'll put the football down. Back in the middle, as I said, conditions magnificent. Potter in Andrew Jarman's hip pocket. Over the top went Arnold into a pack of players again. Macca's in there. Comes the way of Obbs. Obbs wobbles a kick towards James at half forward. Sits for him beautifully. Concedes ground. Back towards Obbs with a handball. Up towards the 50-metre line. The Downsborough is there pushing and shoving West. Thumped away from that player. Goes the way of Holm. He lost the football. Downsborough. West. Good movement here by Norwood. James. Back on this occasion, the Downsborough, back to James. They're messing him out. He goes bang towards full forward, getting under the football and taking a good mark is Jones. In defence for the Doggies, Wills.
Was a good mark too. The youngster in the back pocket brings it out towards half-back. The kick had to be good. It was, and a chance for Wind. And Wind takes it over the line and out of play.
Yes, well, Andrew Jarman, I suppose he's used to this sort of play with Potter, just absolutely pushing him off the ball, pushing him off all directions, and he's in for a very hard afternoon, Jarman.
Bit surprised McGowan starting on the half-forward flank, normally in the centre, and gets plenty of the ball. Arnold, taken by Harvey, not for long, though. Tackle. One of the players got hit high. Jarman in late. Should have given away a free kick there, Andrew Jarman. Umpire right on the spot. Thought it was a little bit unnecessary.
Yes, it certainly was. He should have been penalised for that, but both Jarman and McIntosh really starting well in this first couple of minutes.
Conditions fine, and Norwood kicking him to a slight breeze. They dive on top of it again. Andrew Jarman's there, so too Potter. And Potter just telling Andrew Jarman to get off the pack.
Good start, Tim.
Yeah, Norwood have got it down their forward line. Certainly Brett Jones picked up a few early touches, and Stephen Stewart will have to tighten up there a bit.
Yeah, Brett James, 3 possessions in the one play. A chance now for Downsborough. Up he goes. So to Arnold. Arnold leapt well. Jarman couldn't take it. James dispossessed. A chance for Harvey. Goes back to Macca. McIntosh on the left boot. Oh, almost out of the area. Steinburner. He's dispossessed. It comes out to Holm. Good play by the Doggies. They're working up towards half-forward Hicks. Good grab and good play by Central District.
Yes, Hicks centre wing, grandstand side. They're running everywhere. He goes towards half forward. The chase is on. Getting back there, Fleming, big fist of the football. Gets it down to Dan Tosh. He's got no one to give it to. Thought about going with a handball. Finally does so. Goes to Stephen. That's Pitt. Up towards half forward. Looks for West. He's got him. Westy well outside the 50. Goes to the handball. The player wasn't even looking at it, King. Goes the way of Scotty Lee. They've turned it over. Back to King. Oh, high tackle on King against Potter. It was there. And King will win the free kick.
Great take on the outer side there by Big Westy, and of course King wasn't even watching, Cage.
And he's back to Westy. He handballed to him, but King's got the football now. Inside the 50, he goes towards centre half foot, or up too early. Malloy he'll give away the free kick, quite rightly so, and it'll be taken by Clotter.
Well, kicking into a couple of, just a little bit of a breeze there, Wilds. Of course, Malloy giving away 2 free kicks at the moment. He can't afford to do that.
The Bulldogs at right half forward. It's going to be a bounce down. The umpiring we saw last week, very good. Tim Pfeiffer, Richard Fox and Ron Bettridge. And Bettridge was one of the umpires at Glenelg Oval last week, did a very good job. Waiting now for the umpire to bounce the ball down. Very scrappy early. Bit of crackling too in the earphones, KG. It's not your ears, I can believe me. It's in mine too. Hicks gets out to Holm. Holm from 55. A long kick towards the northern end. First score of the game, and it's on the Samsung scoreboard, and it goes to the Bulldogs. They're 1 point. Norwood yet to score. Let's go around the grounds thanks to Aces Bar Central Market.
At the MCG, Geelong 4 goals, 6, Collingwood 3-5. At Optus Oval, Carlton 4-1, Western Bulldogs 2-7. At St Kilda, at Waverley, St Kilda 7-3, North Melbourne 2 behind.
Unbelievable. The kick-off goes short to Fleming. Does it find him? Has it been paid? Yes, it has. The kick came from Dan Toshia. It goes to Fleming, and Fleming's being paid the mark in the back pocket grandstand side. Goes with a handball back to Dan Toshia. Dan Toshia, very consistent performer for the legs. Bangs it back towards centre wing in front. Easto couldn't take it. Follow with a handball. Goes to Holm. He's playing pretty well early. Squirt. The kick's a good one. Luck's a fortune. He has found Lockwood. Lockwood plays on quickly, goes short and finds Hicks. Well, Hicks now can go over the top to Coffey. Can he make it? No, he can't. He took his eyes off the football. They've lost it. Pitt comes in, handballs away, and the ball goes out of play. I thought Grant Coffey, Jumbo, momentarily took his eye off the footy and...
player hurt too, KG.
Yeah,
who's that, Tim?
Is that Wind?
looks like Jimmy Wine.
Jimmy Wine's down.
That's a leg I reckon he might have broken a year or so ago.
I was going to say, pretty poor bit of play there by the Bulldogs, Tim, because they had it all open. All Hicks had to do, well, he did.
Hope
he
he's
whipped
okay.
it across,
Well, that
and then
player-
Coffey took his eye off the foot.
He's gone.
That player crashed straight into his leg. I saw what happened. He sort of dived across his leg. He clutched for that, I think it's his left leg straight away. And he's in a bit of strife too, KG.
Well, I've called for the stretcher. That's absolutely shocking news for Jimmy Wine. Let's hope it's not as bad as it may look at the moment.
They've already lost Cook, Conway, Dew, and now looks like Jimmy Wine might not take any further part in the game. So a big body blow for the Bulldogs, Rick, and he just went down. Didn't appear to be too much in it. Clutched the leg, and they're calling for the stretcher.
Well, I thought that when Hicks got hold of the football, all he had to do was just whip it across, or he could have shot for goal from about 40 yards out, but he saw Coffey, and Coffey just cages spot on. He just took his eye off the football, and of course they all jumped on poor Jimmy Wine on the outer side there, and he really hasn't moved, and let's just hope that he's okay. He really hasn't moved. He's been on these sort of his left hip for about 2 or 3 minutes, and you can ill afford to lose him, Tim.
Gee.
Yeah, he's certainly a good running player for us, Windy, and I hope for his sake that he hadn't broken that leg.
Was it the left leg, Tim, last time?
It was the left leg. He broke it in a couple of spots. So,
He went straight down and he clutched for that leg.
He does wear a guard on it, so hopefully that's saved him.
And looks in a bit of strife too, doesn't he? A bit of pain. So what we might do, KG, is go back to the Andrew Pearce, and we can go around the grounds thanks to Aces Bar Central Market.
We certainly can. Thank you, boys. And at the MCG, Geelong 4-7-31, Collingwood 3-5-23 at Optus Oval, Carlton 4-1-25, Western Bulldogs 2-7-19. Western Bulldogs have kicked 5 behinds in the second term and have been constantly into attack, but haven't been able to post a major. And at Waverley, St Kilda 7-3-45, North Melbourne 2 behind, shades of last night at Football Park when Adelaide thumped West Coast 16-10-106 to 4-7-31.
Thank you, Andrew Pearce, there in the studio, and other games too, which will commence shortly. We've got a couple of other local games. Port play North Adelaide, should be a blockbuster at the Prospect Oval. And, of course, a game at Loxton, Rick, West Adelaide and Sturt.
Yes, well, Sturt, of course, after letting the Eagles off the hook last week, leading by 2 goals in, 2 minutes to go. And, of course, Sam Filippo pulling out the unexpected and kicking a couple of goals. And they're going up to Loxton, which is, I think, great for South Australian footy, great for the country football to see a couple of league teams up there. And, of course, in West Adelaide's area. Do you enjoy, Tim, going up to the bush? Or no, you probably don't do it anymore now, but did you enjoy those types of games?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely fantastic that the league are continuing that support for the country. I'm from Clare, country boy myself, so when we get up there, it's certainly good to have a kick with the cars around the oval and plenty of horns honking, that sort of thing.
That's Alan Stringer country, isn't it, around Clare? They've just out at Kalunga.
That's right,
Brinkworth.
yep.
And did you go to Pirrie the other week?
Yeah, I played up at Pirrie against North Adelaide.
Did you enjoy that game there?
Yeah, it was great. The oval was fantastic, and we actually played under lights up at Memorial Oval, and they did a really good job.
Well, KG's had a close look at Jimmy Wine, and KG doesn't look too good.
No, it doesn't look good at all. He's in absolute agony. He's got his head on his hands. He's in absolute agony at the moment. That's very sad because he is a ball player. He's a terrific footballer, and he's had some wretched luck, and let's hope that it's not as bad as it does appear. He's really in some pain, is young Jimmy Wine, as he's been taken now down the tunnel, and it would appear as though it is his left leg, Jimmy.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it?
That's absolute tragedy. Let's hope that it's not as bad as we first think it looks. Okay, back with the umpires. They're about to throw the football in once more. That's a tragedy. That is for Jimmy Wine, being stretched from the ground. The umpire blows time on as the ball is thrown in. Coffey and Easter over the top end. Hicks up towards the line. It goes again. Harvey is there. With him is Cotton, and the ball is forced out of play. A throw in again on the Samsung scoreboard. It's Central's 1 point. Norwood yet to score. Throw in once more. High throw in on this occasion. In front was Coffey, border ground. Chance on this occasion now for Daniels to come away with the football. Gets it to Macca. McIntosh back towards the centre wing. Scotty Lee should mark this. Sits under the football and takes a mark on the attacking side of centre.
Yeah, great player, Scotty Lee. 34 years of age, still playing great footy. Mistake made, goes over the back of the pack. Pitt win it. So too Steinberner. Norwood desperate in defence. Comes out now towards Cotter. His handball's wild. Oh, good tackle there by Easter. The umpire allowed things to go on. Crowd thought it might have been holding on.
Well, it was. It should have been holding the man, for goodness sake.
And we'll see a ball up 60 metres out from the Bulldogs' goal.
Well, I just don't think that the Norwood player there just actually went at the ball at all, McCormack. He just went actually straight at the man, and the ball just went free, and no one actually was looking at the footy.
Doesn't mind running hard at the ball, does McCormack. Straight at the footy. Repeating the news, Jimmy Windoff. Chambers on, up the go. The big man comes down towards Chambers. Can't take it out of the air. And once again, Rick,
not a pretty game, is it, Rick?
No, it's certainly not. The conditions are fantastic. The oval's in magnificent condition. There should be no excuses at all. I just think that both teams going at the footy pretty hard and a bit nervous.
Well, last year Norwood won with only 12 goals, so you'd imagine it'd be another tight scoring game. Defence is both very good for both clubs as Jarman kicks it up towards the centre. The bouncing ball. Out comes Stephen Schwerk. Got a bad bounce. Taken by King. Around the body. Just wobbles it up towards centre wing. Grandstand side. The bouncing ball favours Harada. He's got Cotter in support. Brian Harada. Oh, it took too long. Well done by McIntosh. And McIntosh went hard at Cotter. And he's not too happy he ran out of space, Macca, because he wanted to hit Cotter.
Did he ever?
Well, Jimmy Wine just went down the raceway cage. I think that young Cotter almost went down as well.
I think Macca wanted him. The throw in centre wing, grandstand side. Downsborough over the top went Arnold. Down to James. Can't take the football. Step down. Chance for Potter now. This way, that way. Met by Macca. Loses the football. Heavy work. Macca's got it again. Goes to James. Almost a high tackle. Well, Girdham goes in hard. Back to Harada. No, beg your pardons, I can tell you. It's impossible to get a kick. Finally, we see Holm coming away with the football on the half-back flank. Goes short. Looks out this occasion for Chalmers. Takes it on the first bounce. Cotter's gone. Lost the footy. Spills out to Obbs. Obbs now uses his pace. Goes to the handball. Should have gone earlier. Goes to Harvey. Harvey up towards centre half forward. King. And he's found King on the 50-metre line. He'll go short out towards half forward. And the mark has been taken out there by Norwood.
Tyson.
And it's Tyson, I think it is. James Tyson has found the open spaces. And Tyson now will kick from about 45 metres, almost directly in front.
Great work by Obbs, wasn't it, Cage? He wheeled around and saw a couple of players, and it finally finished in Tyson's arms.
Tyson now goes bang with the football. Doesn't look a good kick off the boot, but that doesn't matter. It's gone through the goals, I think. Has it? And the goal umpire, yes, it has. So Tyson kicks the first major of the game. That's to Norwood. They are one straight goal, 6 to Bulldogs, 1 point. Let's go around the Greyhounds thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro Central Market.
Geelong 4 goals 7, Collingwood 4 goals 5.
Geelong and Collingwood, Carlton and the Western Bulldogs. That was a very hectic bit of play too, Rick, across the half-back flank there.
Yes, it certainly was, but a good result for Norwood. I think they've been just shaping up for that, and Tyson finished off with an awkward kick.
The Redlegs by 5 points. Andrew Jarman once again at the bottom of the pack. He'll have Potter sitting on top of him. That's where he is. And we'll see another bounce down.
Pretty tight opening, Tim, too, isn't it?
Certainly some physical clashes going on, KG.
Unbelievable.
I was about to say, Cookie, what a Jarman stats.
For such a big ground, though, it has been very scrappy football. As we see Stevens try and do something that he does too. Brings it out wide. Steinburner got a bad bounce. McCormack threw it out now. In turn to Smart. On the left boot up towards Malloy on a long lead. Picked it up on the half volley. A sweeping handball goes to Tyson. He's kicked one. He might have kicked two. He lines him up the south end. He has kicked two. Good play by the Redlegs. Ominous signs now for the Bulldogs. And Norwood kicking into a slight breeze, go to 2 straight goals. The Bulldogs 1 point on the Samsung scoreboard.
Great work by McCormack there. He just absolutely crashed the pack cage, didn't he? Just went straight through. He got the ball out to James. Young Smart whipped it down. And Tyson's very, very elusive on the outer side, Tim. And really, the Bulldogs under a bit of pressure, and we're only, 10 minutes into this first quarter?
Yeah, I think Stevens is going to have to sacrifice his own game a bit and just run with Tyson for the next 5 minutes.
He's given him a bit of space in the opening moments, and he's kicked another goal. Okay, back in the middle. 2 goals to James Tyson. Norwood are 2 straight goals. The Bulldogs 1 point, the bounce down. The big men will contest it. Arnold Bob beautifully down the hole. Away he goes. A long right foot kick up towards centre half forward, getting back and taking a good mark. On that occasion was Fleming. Swings the play back towards the grandstand side. Tyson again. Strike me, Peggy's come with some ground. He's dropped the mark he should have taken. In goes Bowman. Thought about the Shepherd first. Then goes in and gets it back to Tyson. Tyson's kick is a beauty and finds Brett James. Centre wing, grandstand side. James now with the football comes back towards the half forward area. Downsborough fighting Harada, thumps it away back towards this occasion Girdham. Well, he's rock and rolled illegally. He's got to get a free kick. Once you get him, he will, for pushing the back. And it's on between a couple of players here. Girdham wants the football. Give him a 50-metre penalty kick, for goodness sake. That should have happened 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Cage, I
Right.
think you've actually called the right thing there. James he didn't want to even get off the football.
Exactly right.
But good work there by, well, not very good work, but Jerry Dantosh, you don't often see him whipping in and knocking the players down like that.
So the ball now with Girdham, 244 games to his credit, goes short. They need a goal, Bulldogs, just to settle. They haven't had much. Arnold takes a mark. He's 45 out from goal, and with a breeze should make the distance. They've been a bit rattled. I just watched Tyson too. KG Stevens was 50 or 60 metres away from his opponent. They're back together now, but of course they haven't got the footy. Waiting now for Arnold. They do desperately need a goal. There's his kick, puts it up out the right. Not a good one. It won't come back. They've got another point on the board, I think. It is, says the umpire. So 2 points on the Samsung scoreboard of the Bulldogs. Norwood 2 straight goals. And we've been going about, the clock says 14 minutes, but I think that was going with Jimmy Wine.
Yes, Jimmy Wine, well, it would have probably been 3 or 4 minutes. He only kicked off the one leg then, Cage. That was a poor kick from Arnold from about 30 out.
Unbalanced himself. He did. Jan Toshia kicks off. Good mark to Lachlan Bowman on the half-back flank. Steinburner on the mark. But Lachlan Bowman with a good mark. He kicks it back towards centre wing. Pitt gets under the football. Drops the mark he perhaps should have taken. In there is Cotter. The handball was not good. Goes back to Pitt. He's dispossessed. And the ball trickles out of play. And a throw-in at centre wing grandstand side. Conditions fantastic for the big game here at the Elizabeth Oval this afternoon. Good crowd sitting in deck chairs around the oval. Eastoe in front. Arnold comes from behind, gets his hands to the football. McGowan, that's his first possession, I would have thought. Gives it to Holm. He's had a pretty good first quarter. What was the kick towards Chambers? He can handball away. Back to Steinburner. In trouble. The kick is partly smothered. Chance for Fleming, not favoured by the bounce. Heavy traffic on the outer side out there. Cotton comes in, tackled. Has the ball held to him. And a bounce down on the 50-metre attacking line for the Bulldogs, who are only 2 points, Norwood, 2 straight goals.
I was going to say, Tim, no midfielders for the Bulldogs actually getting their hand on the footy at the moment.
Not at the moment, and certainly breaking down at centre half forward.
5AA footy, thanks to Adelaide's Channel 7. Norwood clearly looked the best side so far. He's still got a handball. That comes out to Wobbs, who concedes ground, finds Bowman, who's had a pretty good year too, Lockwood Bowman. It comes down towards Harada. Harada up towards centre half forward. A chance for Central District. They couldn't take the mark. Free kick, though. Illegally tackled there. It's got to come back this occasion to Cotton, I think it is. And Cotton can have a shot for goal from about, 40 metres out, directly in front. Very similar spot to where Damien Arnold had the kick.
Yes, well, Damien Arnold just made an absolute mess of his kick. But young Cotton was in the right spot, and Pitt had no choice but to run actually straight at him. And I thought he did a pretty good job, but the umpire didn't see it that way.
Good footballer is Jared Cotton. He's kicked 26 goals this year on the left boot. He might make it 27. That's the one the Bulldogs needed. First goal for the afternoon. They desperately needed that goal. They moved to 1-2-8. Norwood 2 straight goals. Let's go around the grounds thanks to Aces Bar Central Market.
And at the MCG.
Back here at the Elizabeth Oval, it's the Norwood side. The Redlegs, 2 straight goals, 12 Centrals, 1-2-8 on the Samsung scoreboard. Eastoe Jarman has the football. His kick is smothered into a pack of players again. The umpire calls play and they come away with the Dogs. Through Squirt, goes to Scotty Stevens. Stevens now from centre, up towards, on that occasion, Lockwood couldn't take the mark. The spoil comes to Steinburner, met high. I thought he was met high, and so does the umpire. And Steinburner will take the free kick. The tackle was certainly high, and he'll get the free kick from outside the 50. Doggies coming back in this second half of the first quarter now. Norwood got away to a fly. 2 great goals to James Tyson. The action now was Steinburner. He's outside the 50. He fancies himself.
A little bit of a breeze, Cage. It's probably
be a
worth
big kick.
4 or 5 metres.
You have to go every bit of 60 metres to kick this one, I would have thought. He goes bang with a drop punt. It's going. It's not going to get the distance. It's going to lob in the square. The pack forms. It comes off the hands and goes through for a minor score. The Doggies 1-3-9. Norwood 2 straight goals, 12 on the Samsung scoreboard. And according to the clock, we've played 18.5 minutes into the first quarter. This is 5AA football.
Well, Cage, of course, a big Arnold in the centre. He had to do something. He's got his hand to the footy on the last couple of occasions. And, of course, with big Arnold missing, a very, very good goal by Cotton. And the Bulldogs have performed a bit better in the last bit. We'll Bulldogs first quarter.
Fleming the kick in up when Arnold couldn't take it. Potter, slips catch, did well to McGowan. This is a better play to Steinburner. Backed himself in with pace, then got tackled. In fact, he got swamped. Taken by James, who's had a pretty good first quarter, to Andrew Jarman. Good vision towards the centre. Out comes Tyson again. The best man on ground. He's already booted 2 goals from centre wing. Works it up towards centre half forward. Out comes West. Geist with too much pace did well. Finds Cotter, who breaks away from the half back flank. Jarman and Arnold, the taller man should win, and he does. And Damien Arnold marks outside centre wing.
Arnold now will put the Bulldogs back into attack. Centre wing, leads coming from Cotter, goes to the outer side. He's going to come inside, is he, to Coffey? No, he's not. He's undecided quite where to go. Finally just goes bang with a terrible kick and it's straight into the arms of Dan Toshia. That was not good work by young Arnold. Dan Toshia, the handball away to Lachlan Bowman from the half-back flank. Back towards centre wing. Looked out there for Downsborough, but Steinburner almost a mark. Having a pretty good first quarter. Works hard, Steinburner. Does it pretty well. Taps it back. Opportunity now for Dan Toshia. McIntosh comes in. Kicks off the ground. The chase is on. Up towards half forward. Pushing and shoving there. We find this occasion it is McGowan over the top. Finds Holm now from the pocket. Kicks towards goal, but it's a long way offline and in fact out of bounds on the full. And we'll see on this occasion Daniels take the free kick. In fact, it's Fleming who'll take the free kick from alongside the behind post.
Tim, the Bulldogs just a bit shaky under pressure early.
Yeah, a little bit. Just saw Rick McGowan and Steiny just fumble the ball a couple of times at critical times. So
Terrible work by Arnold on the outer side there, Tim.
Yeah, very lazy kick. Very stagnant forward line, though, Rick. Not too many players leading.
Comment there from Tim Cook, played in the successful Crow side last night. And boy, do the Bulldogs miss him, and also Conway and Stewart due a late withdrawal. The ball now with Bowman, brings it grandstand side centre wing. Schwert camps in front of the pack. A raid of the big fist again. Did pretty well. Norwood now cleared through Harvey up towards half forward. The kick had to be good, it was, and taken by Jimmy West. West is a long way up from goal. In fact, he's about 80 metres. Kicks towards the lead of Malloy, who comes out, puts up the long arms, playing with a long sleeve jump, a good mark. So Norwood working their way into the breeze and doing it quite well. He'll kick it up towards the dangerous Pitt. Bit of pushing and shoving there. Lockwood did well, ran back with Pitt. Out towards Stevens. They've got the numbers. Cotter on the far side, on the right boot. It's all Bulldogs. If it bounces for a big Arnold. There's 5 Bulldogs and not a Norwood jumper in sight. So Stevens says, thank you very much, and he races through centre wing. On the left boot, it's a wobbly kick. Bounces towards McCormack. He's dispossessed. McGowan sits on top of him. Desperate play. Home back towards McGowan. He goes to ground. Potter dives on top of the foot. He holds it in. And the pace, although it's not a pretty game, the pace is there, and so too the commitment from both teams.
Tim, I just wonder whether they can get McGowan back into the action, in the middle, where he gets the ball.
Certainly our chief ball getter, and I think you'll find that Roddy might move in there shortly, Ken.
The bounce down back in the middle, tapped by Arnold. Seems out of the play is McGowan. Harvey has the kick back towards half forward. Smart goes without it. Cotter paddles the ball in front of him, pushes it once again towards the outer side out there. Smart did that too easy. Won that ball easily. Gets it back on this occasion to Harvey. Harvey up towards half forward. King is there. Scotty Lee also. James is there, but the ball will beat those players out of play. Still outside the 50 for the Redlegs. They lead on the Samsung scoreboard by 3 points. 2 straight goals. Central's 1-3. Throw in magnificent conditions here at the Elizabeth Oval. Absolutely a perfect day. Over the top on that occasion went Arnold, only as far as King. Wobbles it towards full forward, pushing and shoving. Geister comes out, crashes the pack, spills out towards Steinburner, who kicked off the ground. This gives Stevens a chance. They go with it. Doggies has a bounce, has his second bounce, goes through centre. The bald head shining in the sunlight here. Kicks up towards centre, half forward, pushing and shoving. Coffee back there, almost a good mark. Has it been paid? Yes, it has, to Easto, going back with the flight of the footy and takes a good mark into fence wheels.
Good call, KG. It was a good grab. He flew high. Here's Tyson again, who slipped away from Stevens. They both had important possessions, but Tyson has booted 2 goals. Goes in short to McCormack, who played state footy this year. He's on his right boot. Works it up towards half forward. Schwert leads in the race to the footy. A tired-looking Harvey behind him. So Stephen Schwert thought he's going to go across the ground. Elects to go long, and it was a good choice too. And diving on the footy is McGowan. So Ricky McGowan, KG called for him to go in the centre. Looks like he has moved down.
I think he has.
Now they're running with Harada, who's dropped down from centre half back. There's his wobbly kick, once again dropping short. The disposal has been poor, the Bulldogs. Has allowed the Norwood defence to clear again. Eastor up towards Brett James. Possession number 7 for James, and he takes a mark on the far side.
James on the defensive side of centre. We've played, 23 minutes into the first quarter. James now defensive side of centre, back towards centre wing. Potter gets under the football, so does Downsborough. They push and shove, comes out the back to Holm. Holm goes short and in fact kicked it out of bounds on the full. That's not good work by the Bulldogs. He was looking for Connor, but the kick had too much carry and he's kicked it out of play. Harvey now with a long kick back towards half-forward. West in front, should mark, does so. They're still outside the 50, puts it inside now for Malloy. The chase is on, the kick won't carry to him. Malloy's in front, still in front, plays it in front of him, coming through there with Steinburner. Topped the high one, accidental, but he chopped the high one from Malloy and he'll get a free kick.
This kid is a good player, Rick Steinburner.
Yes, he is a very, very good player. He's a very good defender, but Malloy on that occasion, all he had to do was keep his eye on the football and he just took his eye off the ball cage and went for the man.
Blood rule. Steinburner's caught one high and the blood rule now is in vogue. Steinburner coming off. So the Bulldogs copping a bit of a thumping here with players coming on and off the ground. Let's check around the grounds thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro in the Market Plaza. Andrew.
Here's Huff.
We're going here. This game will finish at midnight tonight with a blood rule, with a stretching off for Jimmy Wine. It'll be midnight before the game ends.
That rule, I know you've got to run behind your mark, but it really does tighten and slow up our game of footy. You know, even when it's marked by the point post, going through it's just a ridiculous rule
in the competition. You're right.
Well, it really does slow down the game, in my opinion. He's had 3 goes to kick this.
Well, he's kicked it on the 4th go and finds Jones. Free kick or mark, take your pick.
Yeah.
Pretty good game of footy too. They really are desperate to try and gain some sort of initiative.
The central umpire's gone down, Cage.
Norwood lead by 3 points on the Samsung scoreboard. Kicking into the slight breeze. Up high went Bowman, landed awkwardly too. That would have hurt. Out, he said as he came down. It's home to Hereda. Hereda towards a vacant northern goal. It was a big off break. And allows Daniels to go after the footy. Daniels paddles it in front of him towards the boundary line and it goes out of bounds 10 metres out from the Central District goal. Coffey's got to do more too. He's got to really present himself.
Well, he hasn't presented himself at all, Tim.
Yeah, but hang on, they've kicked badly to him, Tim, haven't they?
He's tending to fall on the ground as well. He's not keeping his feet, which for a big bloke he should.
Good comment there by Timmy Cook. And thanks for backing me up too. McIntosh went straight for the boundary line. He had blinkers on there and didn't see a teammate. It's bouncing towards the line and goes out right now. The Samsung scoreboard, the Redlegs, 2 straight goals. Central District 139.
Yes, I was just having a look at Big Bowman down there too, boys. He really flew and came down on his back, but he's up and about.
On the coccyx.
On his coccyx.
Interesting. Anyway, the throw-in taken by Andrew.
And he's back as well.
Jarman gets that hand
back and front.
And ball away to Daniels. Daniel to the outer side, kicks to no one at all. Gives Scotty Stevens the run of the football. He'll take it. Or will he? No, he won't. The ball goes out of play. So it beat him out of play on the far side here at the Elizabeth Oval. We've played 26 and a half minutes into the first quarter. 5AA footy. Norwood 2 straight goals, 12. The Bulldogs 139. But in the second half of this first quarter, I think the Bulldogs have looked the better side. The throw in Easto, Arnold over the back. Chance now for James. Bundled off the football. Goes in there. Jarman's there. They work hard for the footy. What's happened here? Is there a free kick? Well, a bit of pushing and shoving and a 15-metre penalty kick. Will go against the Bulldogs, against Scotty Stevens. And James will take the free kick and a penalty to boot. Wilds?
Cage, isn't it amazing, especially out here at Elizabeth, and probably Tim can answer this, when you turn the football over, there's just so much room in which to, and you just got no chance of picking the man up.
No, it's unbelievable.
The ground covers 4 acres, so there's certainly plenty of room out there.
Just get this typical farmer talk there. The boy from Clare.
How much rain have we had, Tim?
About 4 points.
Potter now to Gerd, and what can Centrals do? It's going to be a long quarter. It's been going 27 and a half minutes. We might get 38 minutes out of this quarter. To Saywell, just on the ground. Sally Saywell up towards Coffey, who did present himself. Gets thumped away. Almost clean bowled Dantoshia. Could have won a free kick.
He did.
And in the end, we'll get it second attempt. Although I thought the advantage rule might have been paid. It's got to come back.
The officiating umpire didn't pay it. Timmy Pfeiffer down here in the middle did pay it. And
well, they're all confused, and we are up here too as Dantoshia goes straight across the ground and just waddling after the ball. There was James, took his time, got plenty of time to get around his opponent in Hicks. He's on the left boot, brings it out aside centre wing. Up flying for the footy there was Stevens. It comes to ground, McIntosh, just a little toe poke. Oh, Holm went hard at the player too, taken by Tyson. A good handball looking for McCormack. Here's a turnover though. Saywell swoops after the footy, back to Cotton. He's kicked the Central's only goal on the left boot, works it up towards Coffey. He's got 2 to beat. from behind once again. Bowman crashes it to the ground. Picked up by Lockwood at the 50. Hooks it around the body. It's going to land somewhere in the square. 2 on 1. They need a mark. They won't get one. It comes to Coffey. Walk-in goal for the Bulldogs. And Centrals hit the front. And it's taken 28 minutes for the first term.
Daniels is down. He's in trouble, Daniels.
They moved to 2-3-15 on the Samsung scoreboard. The Redlegs 2 straight goals.
Yeah, well, I know it's been very, very scrappy, Tim, hasn't it? The ball's been on the ground most of the time, but that was good work by the Bulldogs. They did work the ball in there, and as Coffey on the last couple of occasions has presented himself, and he's brought up their second goal.
Yeah, certainly not pretty footy at the moment, but it's just a matter of bashing it forward, and both sides aren't really finding an easy way to goal, so any goal is pretty handy.
Tim, isn't it funny we say it's not pretty footy? You probably don't expect pretty footy when you've got 2 top teams and competitive teams to go hard at the ball.
Yeah, exactly right. You might find a game opens up a bit later on.
As Andrew Jarman puts the legs in towards their 50, West at the back of the pack, got his hands to the football. I tell you what, they've crashed the pack. It's tough stuff, I can tell you. Scotty Lee goes short, finds Cotton on the defensive side, goes over the top. Jones with a chance now, up towards half forward, looks for Hicks. Will it sit for him? It does perfectly. Goes past Malloy easily, then still outside the 50, now inside the 50, up towards Chambers. Almost the mark. Has it been paid? No, it hasn't. Comes back towards Pitt. Pitt towards the safety of the 50-metre line, and it trickles out of play. Chambers had that ball momentarily, but the umpire said it wasn't long enough, and a throw in right in front of the scoreboard here at the Elizabeth Oval. Sees the Doggies in front by 3 points, and we've played 29, almost 30 minutes into the first quarter.
Hicks shaping up very well at centre-half forward. He ran Bowman right around there, and a bit unlucky then, the Bulldogs.
Throw in on the 50-metre line, the Bulldogs into attack. Coffey only as far as Pitt. Pitt with a screwy. Back towards the centre of the ground, King, and also at the back there was Scotty Lee. King too good, takes the football. Handballs back to Macca. McIntosh now out to Jones. Does he find the player? He does. That was a beautifully weighted kick by Macca. Centre wing out of side. Brett Jones will put the Redlegs towards their 50-metre line. He goes in towards the centre of the ground and finds Harvey. Harvey now. Terrific young player. Anthony Harvey. Runs around the man on the mark, which is Girdham. Roger Girdham goes towards half forward. Malloy has the sit. Oh, it's too easy. And Malloy takes the mark outside the 50. Malloy now. Chance to put the Redlegs into the teeth of goals. What's he going to do? He thought about the handball. He's been called to play on. The handball goes towards Harvey. Harvey, the left foot kick up towards West, chipping in. And Smart takes the mark there for Norwood. On a 45-degree angle, he'll get the distance about 25 to 30 metres out from goal. The angle about 45 degrees.
Actually, Norwood moving Malloy around pretty well, Cage. He's got a bit of pace, and he's whipping himself outside the 50, and he's causing the Bulldogs a bit of concern.
Smart, a chance now. Oh, gee whiz, that's foolish football. Went to short pass, it's come unstuck. Geister comes out, kicks off the ground, back towards centre wing. Mack is after the football with him, is Potter. Oh, they have a duster. Goes to Saywell. Saywell kicks straight to Jarman. He in turn goes to Smart. Smart with the football now. A long kick up towards full foot. West at the back, can't take the mark. Scotty Lee does the crumbing work, gets the handball away to Cotter. Cotter from the half-back flank, banged it back to Cotton. Cotter and Cotton. Cotton's got it. Open spaces out of side, goes short, looks for Hicks, puts the ball in front of him with his Bowman. Neither player able to take the football. Coming through on this occasion now, McCormack for Norwood. Swings it back with a left foot kick, only as far as Cotton, throws it away. Plays for the free kick, not forthcoming. Soccers off the ground, but only as far as McCormack. He in turn goes to Dantosh here, and away the legs go, Wills.
Yeah, not for long. He's made the error. Big turnover here. The Dogs a chance. The handball loose, so Pitt's got to go harder than footy. Also Saywell. Saywell will try to take out Dantoshi, who slips to the ground. Obviously has a look at his teammate, says, "You're right, son." And it's a very good game of footy.
It's not pretty, though, Tim. The work being done by both sides, turning the ball over far too easily.
A lot of basic skill errors going on at the moment, KG.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Oh, what about Jeremy Dantosha there? He had the ball and he handballed backwards.
I know.
32 minutes gone first term. Wind off the ground with possibly a recurrence of that broken leg. And due also a late withdrawal as the siren sounds, and Centrals didn't take advantage of the breeze. At quarter time on the Samsung scoreboard, they lead 2-3-15. Norwood 2 straight goals, 12 the margin, 3 points. This is 5AA football.
I won't throw to you again.
There's the siren to start the second quarter here at the Elizabeth Oval. The Doggies got their nose in front by 3 points. The bounce down. The big men contested. Easto. Macca is there. Pushed off the football by, on this occasion, Holm. In goes Macca again. In goes Jarman with Potter. But it's scrappy stuff again, and the umpire has no alternative but to call for a bounce down once again right in the middle of the ground here at the Elizabeth Oval. Conditions magnificent and not a bad crowd either. The bounce down, Arnold this time with his hands to football, goes towards Fleming, has the football, tackled by McGowan, who appears to be back in the middle, and again we have a stop-start affair. with the ball being held to Dale Fleming.
Cage, both these teams are very, very skillful. You'd probably think that if one team can get a bit of a run on, she's really going to be an open game.
You would have thought in the big open spaces too, Jim, but that would have been the case. To bounce down again into a pack of players. Aerial ping pong at the moment. Easto's in there. Macca head over the football. Tackled by Potter. In fact, it's home. Out it comes. Away they go now. Fleming wobbles a kick towards half forward. Pushing and shoving. Coming through was on that occasion Lee. Scotty Lee was pulled off the football. No free kick. Goes the way of King. He wobbles a kick towards Swirt. Swirt now back towards Scotty Lee, who was pulled off the football without it a moment ago. Has it now on the defensive side of centre. Has the luxury of a bounce. Goes to the left foot kick towards centre wing. But it's a shocker. And in fact, there's been an incident behind the play against Andrew Jarman, so they've the kick has been paid up the ground.
Jar's put Potter down, Cage.
Okay, Steinburner with the action now. Went off the ground in that first quarter with a split lip up towards half forward. Heavy traffic out there. They come away Norwood through Fleming. Can't do much with it. Holm is there. Over there is Jerry Dan Tosher. Norwood player injured. Looks as though it's James Tyson. Back towards
Fleming, Coach.
Half forward. Fleming is injured. Opportunity now for Daniels. Can he pick it up? He can. Goes back to McCormack. McCormack around his body. Back towards the centre wing. Pushing and shoving back there. Almost a mark. In fact, not almost a mark. A terrific mark by young Steinburner, who is playing very good football at the moment.
Centres play up towards centre half forward. Out comes Jared Cotton, who couldn't take it. Tyson clean bowled. Ends up with McCormack. Standing start. Works it back towards centre wing. Standing his ground was Mr. Consistency. Scotty Lee, 34 years of age. Works it up towards centre half forward. The kick had to be good. It wasn't.
Shocking.
And McCormack takes the mark.
Skill level of this game is very ordinary when the conditions are so good.
Can get better as he kicks it up towards centre wing. King had to hold his ground. Coming through late was Lee. Taken by Potter back to Lee. Once again the ball has been forced into a contest. Ends up with Jarman to Tyson. Standing start, delivers up towards centre half forward. Geister comes out after the foot. He got a bad bounce. It favours West. They've got Smart to Malloy. It's going to be a walk-in goal. He can turn around from 15 out and kick Norwood's third goal. He does. Too easy there. And Norwood snatched back the lead at the 2-minute mark of the second term. The Samsung scoreboard, good kicking by the Redlegs. They moved to 3 straight goals. Central District 2-3-15.
Yes, well, very ordinary play there by both sides. Central Districts, the Bulldogs came off second best. Just scrappy work. And McCormack, there's just so many turnovers, and McCormack just went long. Good work there by Jarman, and Malloy just found himself 30 to 40 metres out by himself. Pretty easy goal, Tim.
Certainly was. Scotty Lee had the chance to set something up for the Dogs in, but bad kick cost them a goal.
Back in the middle, a bounce down. Norwood in front, 3 straight goals, 18 Centrals, 2-3-15. Oh, gee, Holm is hard at the footy. Ran bang straight into Jarman, tapped out by Potter. Opportunity for Steinburner. With him is McIntosh. Gee whiz, it's a scrappy affair, I can tell you. Jarman, a chance for Ops now. Can he pick it up? He does. Throws it onto the boot. Wobbles a kick towards the grandstand side. The chase is on. Stevens in front, pushed off the footy by Pitt. Oh, strike. That was a shocker. Stevens a free kick. Goes to Lockwood. Lockwood now short. Bang, and got Coffey. That was an absolute soft free kick down here. But Coffey's got the mark, and he'll kick from about 45 metres.
A couple of times, Cage, Pitt has just been caught out of position, hasn't he? And just found himself, well, the umpires, as he comes over, just explains it to Pitt, I think, there. But pretty soft.
Oh, very soft. Coffey now with a chance to kick another major for the Doggies. He'll get the distance. The angle is a concern. Grandstand side. The kick now, it's on its way. It's coming back, and it's got hit the post. So minor score there to the Doggies. They go to 2-4-16. Norwood 3 straight goals, 18 on the Samsung scoreboard. Conditions fantastic.
Cage, I've just had a look at Fleming on the outer side. Just must have rolled his ankle, but he's up and ready to go.
He's okay. Thanks, Jumbo.
27 goals for the year for Grant Coffey. Kicked 1 goal, 1 today. Dan Toshia plays on to himself. Gives it off to Daniels and runs himself into trouble to McCormack now, but the Redlegs good enough to break away. Showed good pace too, and a thumping kick up towards centre half forward. Over the back of the pack was Lee trying to fly high. Couldn't do so. Now the ball ends up with Smart. Went for the handball, now decides to kick. Malloy and also Jones. 1-on-1, the ball might bounce through for a goal. It doesn't. Took a left turn instead of a right. It's a point. Very quick turnover from one end of the ground to the other. And we've got Norwood 3 goals, 1. Central's 2-4. Let's go around the grounds. Thanks to Aces Bar, Central Market, Andrew Pearce.
Geelong 5-9, Collingwood 5-7, Western Bulldogs 5-9, Carlton 5-2, St Kilda 10-7, North Melbourne 3-2, North Adelaide 8-1, Port 2-1, Sturt 4-4. Sorry, David. West 2-1.
Back at the Elizabeth Oval. Holm now with the football, about to bring it back into play. Goes down the centre, looks for Arnold. Oh, Marnold should have taken the mark, stolen by McIntosh. McIntosh from 50 goes bang towards full forward. It's not a bad kick, I tell you, it hit the post. Kick had the distance, it hit the post, so Norwood had their first minor score on the board, in fact their second. They are 3-2-20, the Bulldogs 2-4-16, a margin of 4 points in favour of the Redlegs. Holm about to bring the ball back into play once more from that minor score. Looks for options further afield, not too many forthcoming, I can tell you. It's told to bring it in by the umpire, goes to the outer side. Looks out there for young Steinberner. He's got the football, left the ground to have a stitch put in his lip early in that first quarter. Goes to Lee with a handball. Lee now from the defensive side of centre. Up towards Chambers. With him is Dan Toshia. Dan Toshia, the defensive work, does it well. Has the football this way, that way to Andrew Jarman. The handball wasn't good. They've lost it again. Potter with a chance. Early's gone holding the football. Surely not paid. It comes through back to Gurdon. Goes to Stevens. Stevens now short up to Coffey. Hasn't got him. Getting back there is Lachlan Bowman. Gets it over to McCormack. Breaks the tackle. Bangs it back towards the half-back flank. That packs it under the football. Pushing and shoving. Steinberner again. Gee, this kid's a good player, I can tell you. Has it outside the 50. Up towards centre half forward in front. Not taken by Fleming. Yes, it has been taken by Fleming. McCormack stole it from his teammate, but the mark has been paid to Fleming.
Great bit of work there by Fleming. He had back into the pack wheels, and it was a good mark.
Fleming transfers at grandstand side. Tyson booted 2 goals in the first quarter. Oh, wrong option, a poor option. Lockwood said, thank you very much. Takes it, and away goes the youngster, the member of the Port Power squad, who's found Coffey. And Coffey's starting to come into the game too since we gave him a serve earlier. His kick was a shocker, though.
The skill level of this game is absolutely terrible, really, for the conditions that are available today. This is terrible.
Kate, they're going too short, do you reckon?
Well, their skill level's terrible.
Maybe the football's flat as we see Holmes jump high above the pack. Comes to King. Tyson's there again, the ball on a string. McGowan should have wrapped him up, couldn't do so. Taken by, on that occasion, McCormack, who goes to Jarman, in turn to Harvey. The Redlegs away, they're trying to set up something. They go over the top to Dan Toshia. He's at outer side centre wing, the running Harvey. Looked like his brother as he went across towards half forward. Up towards Malloy, who can't take it. Picks it up on the attacking 50. Gives it back to Harvey. He goes to his left, back to his right. A great individual effort. Comes off the boot there as Smart towards the goal square. Tried to get a leg to it.
Off the knee.
It comes off the knee. The umpire vigorously showed where it came from. That's the goal umpire. Point to Norwood. They moved to 3-3-21. Central's 2-4-16.
Tim, why would the skill level be like it is today with conditions that are applicable, for goodness sake?
That's an excellent question.
It is a good question, isn't it?
I just think the pressure that both sides are putting on each other.
Stevens' work goes into the pocket, finds Lee, who always seems to get away, Scotty Lee. What a great player he's been for over a decade for the Bulldogs. Brings it back towards half-back. Downsborough dives to the footy, and Downsborough takes a mark.
Downsborough on the outer side, on the attacking side of centre. It looks to be about 4,000 miles away from our commentary spot. Inside the 50 he goes. West pushed under the football. Spills out the back to Stephen Swert. Has it. Concedes ground with a handball over to Scotty Lee. Doesn't hit the body at all. Puts him under pressure, but he's got time to get out. He falls over. Gee whiz, the handball is loose, goes towards Geister. He falls over, goes towards Jarman. He goes without the football. I can appreciate the pressure that's out there, but unbelievable. The mistakes being made by both hand and foot at the moment, and the umpire will bounce down outside the 50 for Norwood.
Actually, a couple of players, Kate, just slipping over. You wouldn't have thought it was too wet out there, Tim. What's it like at training?
Yeah, it's not too bad, the oval. I always wear screw-ins out here, and I'm sure some of the players have got their moulded boots on, so they might want to change them at half-time.
The bounce down comes back towards Ops. Comments there by Crows player Timmy Cook, and a good mark has been taken here by Smart.
Back this lad to kick this, KG.
Pardon, mate?
You'd back this lad to kick this goal?
No worries, Tim. Straight through the high, did a little. Son, would you back him or not?
Certainly would. He's a very good kicker of the ball.
My word, he is.
He doesn't get a lot of games, though, Kate, doesn't he?
No,
well,
he's a good player, Smarty. What's this? The left foot kicks off about 3 paces. And, oh, gee, he's just snuck in, I think, has he? Yes, he has. He just snuck it in. So Norwood kicked their 4th goal. They go to 4-3-27. The Bulldogs 2-4-16 on the Samsung scoreboard. Let's check around the grounds. Thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro in the Market Plaza.
And Geelong 5-11-41, Collingwood 5-7-37, Carlton 5.
How do you pick a winner?
You
Some of those results, St Kilda over North Melbourne. The Western Bulldogs continuing on their good form, but here it's Norwood now leading by 11 points. Perhaps the biggest margin of the game too. Back in the centre, good bounce too. Allows Easter and Arnold to vie for the footy. Comes to ground, kick forward there by Cotton. Up towards centre half forward. Lockwood couldn't take it, spills free. Girdham dispossessed. Played for the free kick on that occasion. Now the hurry kick forward by Chambers, looking for Coffey, meeting the sandwich. It comes to ground. McCormack's been okay, straight through type player. Finds Dan Toshia. The sweeping handball back to Tyson, who's covering plenty of ground. He's a grandstand centre wing. The 5AA footy spins up towards half forward for Norwood. It comes down to ground. Hereda did it well too. Finds Cotton. He's got Stevens short in the centre, but Cotton elects to go long, looking for an option up there. The ball wobbles off the bench. A shocking kick. And Bowman wraps it up at centre-half back.
Yeah, great work there by Cotton. He got around the player very, very easily, showed his skills, and then he kicked it straight down the throat of Bowman.
Lachlan Bowman with a brand new spanking haircut. Looks like a number 1. Over the top, Arnold cleverly down to Cotton. Cotton goes to Stevens. Stevens now from centre wing grandstand side will put them inside the 50. The pack forms there. Hicks is there. Can't take the grab. Crashes to the turf. Dan Toshia wearing a beard. Can't pick up the football. Fleming can. Goes to Newton. Goes to Pitt. Pitt now back towards centre wing. Downsborough lumbers after the football. Is busted off by Swirt. Harvey. Good stuff. Goes to Tyson. Tyson to McIntosh. McIntosh back to Harvey. That's better football by the legs. On the left foot kick up towards Malloy. That's terrific stuff. Now that's been the best movement of the game thus far. And Malloy takes the mark. That's what we want to see today under these conditions. Malloy now will kick from inside the 50.
They look the better side, the Redlegs.
At the moment they do. They lead by, 11 points, Wilds, on the Samsung scoreboard. It's kicked towards goal. He's put it across the face. A pack formed in the square there, but what's happened, it's gone through for a minor. So Norwood go to 4-4-28. The Doggies 2-4-16. We've played 12 minutes into the second quarter. Wills.
When you've got a couple of players like Jarman and McIntosh, you know full well that every touch that they get hold of the football, they're going to do something with it. And young Harvey is really running the ball. And McIntosh, what a magnificent handball out to him. And, well, Malloy was just off target.
5AA footy thanks to Adelaide's Channel 7. The short kick finds Cotter. So they're taking the long way home. Home, the designated kicker, goes to the far side. A chance for Steinburn up against Big Eastor. Rode by Obbs. Did it beautifully too. Jarman screaming for the ball in the centre, but Obbs kicks it straight up in the air. Out comes Downsborough. Stevens, a raider from behind. A big fist. Comes back towards Obbs. Take 2. That's a better kick. He brings it out wide to Tyson. Tyson dropped what he should have taken, but it's got time to recover. He goes towards the attacking 50-metre line. Up towards Malloy. Puts up the arms. Big crunch from behind then. It's all the Bulldogs. Schwert takes the footy, gives to Scotty Lee. Lee towards half-back. It's going to bounce out of bounds, I think. No, it doesn't. It stays in. Cotton and Tyson. Should have been a free kick there to Cotton. He had one arm hurled. We could all see that. Everybody saw that except the umpire.
Well, the umpire should have seen it because there was only 2 players involved there and he was side on to the play. How did he miss that? That's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of rules that they do miss, Cage. So that was, he probably thought that Cotton was just playing for the free.
That was the first time I've seen you stuck for a word then. Your mouth was agape, but
what do you
nothing
think,
came
Tim?
out.
It was pretty easy to see from here, but the umpire probably thought he was just playing for it.
Yeah, probably a bit of that, but he was 2 metres away and it was certainly hanging on. I was just
spot on.
Wondering what was going through his mind.
Tim Cook and Rick Davies having just a minor disagreement. It's Norwood by 2 straight goals.
I'd back Tim anyway.
13 minutes and 33 seconds gone in the second term. Thanks, Cage. Here's we see Schwert up towards centre wing. A chance for Pitt, went straight over that player's head. Getting up the footy now. A chance for Fleming. Fleming towards the boundary line. He's had a pretty good year too, Dale Fleming. McCormack again, rugby style, backed himself in. Cotton cleverly over to Gurdham. He caught one high, and the umpire saw that one. Thanks, Mr. Umpire. The free kick goes to Roger Gurdham.
Gurdham caught one high. Centre wing, grandstand side. Roger Gurdham, he's tough at the footy, I can tell you. Roger wobbles a kick up towards Andrew Newton-Jarman. He only put out one hand, which is most unlike Jars. Handballs away to Fleming. Fleming with a long bomb. Back towards centre wing. Downsborough should swallow this. He doesn't. Coming in was Arnold. Thrummed beautifully by Tyson. He's going to be run down. Too close. Great stuff by young Steinburner. Lays the tackle, wins the free kick. This kid's playing a super game, Steinburner, in my opinion. Not a good kick. Kicks it across, and Easto intercepts it from Brian Hereda. Easto too slow. Hereda will win that battle. Gets it back to Schwert. Schwert around his body. Good kick. Finds Scotty Lee. He can go over the top to Potter. Too late now, he cries. As we wait on Scotty Lee, he's going to go where? Into the pocket or where? He's going to go out towards Potter now. And Potter takes the mark still outside 50. Potter now outside 50 and bright sunshine here at the Elizabeth Oval. Bangs it high towards centre half forward. They get under it. Lockwood there, but a good mark in defence has been paid to Stephen Pitt, the policeman.
Yeah, Fricky's going to Bowman though.
It is too, you're right.
You're right, he did take the mark, Pitt, but the ball now with Bowman. He's had a super year, played for the state too, represented the first time as comes out to Obbs, who scurries away from the half-back flank. He's got plenty of toe. Arnold holds his ground, couldn't take the mark. An opportunity now goes for Schwert. He's on the far side on that left boot, crunches, he kicked it, and he's been pinged for holding the ball. The umpire said he had a chance to get rid of it, Rick.
Well, I think that he made the decision a couple of seconds ago on Steinberner, so he had to pay that because it was exactly the same.
5AA football thanks to Adelaide's Channel 7. Norwood going to attack, but not for long. Almost a mark there at half-back. Taken by Holm. He's played pretty well. That wasn't his best kick. Smothered there by Obbs. It comes to McIntosh. Back to Obbs, who, look at him go. He's scorching across the turf. On the right boot, it's a high ball. West steps himself. Good mark, and does. He read the ball better than anybody else on that occasion, Jimmy West. And although a reasonably quiet player can kick for goal from about 15 metres out directly in front, didn't kick a goal last week against Norwood, and a chance to bring his first and 40th for the year.
Great smother there by, I think it was the big fella in Downsborough, but Obbs streaming in towards the goal. He had a couple of options, but great kick to West.
The ball with West, normally a beautiful kick, and he pops it straight through. Very neat kick off the boot, Jimmy West. As we see Eastor come off with a cut above the eye, Lenny Pascoe coming on. We'll check the Samsung score, but it's the Redlegs 5-4. The Bulldogs 2 for the margin, 18 points. Let's go around the grounds thanks to the Aces Bar Central Market.
At the G, Geelong 6:13:49.
At the Elizabeth Oval, Obbs around his body up towards half forward. Smart does it cleverly for the Norwood side, puts him inside the 50. The big men contest it. Malloy is back there, so is West, almost the mark. Spills out towards Geister. Oh, Malloy had a golden opportunity, couldn't pick up the football. Geister does, kicks it back towards the opposite side, half-back flank, and the ball tickles out of play. Malloy had a golden opportunity, but they had a fit of the fumbles. Grant Coffey coming off, and Sally Saywell going on for the Doggies. So a throw in, 30 metres around from the goal. Norwood into attack.
I thought Coffey played particularly well this quarter.
Well, I thought he had too, but we're obviously bad judges. Scotty Lee kicks off the ground, back to himself, almost will try to get a handball to Stevens. Doesn't work, comes to Harvey. Big pass goes on for Norwood. The handball is good to Tyson. Tyson up towards full forward. Not a bad kick there. Weston behind, taken on this occasion by Jones. Tackled by Malloy. Ball held to him, and the umpire will bounce down right on the end of the kick-off line. It's Norwood 5-4-34. Leading the Doggies 2-4-16, a margin of 18 points on the Samsung scoreboard.
Well, it looks as though Arnold, Tim, is under pressure a bit there in the ruck, and of course the midfielders now, Harvey, McIntosh, Jarman, just starting to push the ball into the 50 for Norwood.
Yeah, just having a bit more influence, but yeah, I wouldn't get too worried about it just yet, Rick.
Ball in the Norwood goal squares. We see Cotter
tried to improve the question.
Advance the ball towards Steinberner, who's been very impressive. He just wobbles it forward and gets back off the footy himself. Did well to the young man. But Malloy grabs the crumbs, gives it off to Obbs. Obbs towards the forward pocket. Standing his ground there was Jones. Smart over the top. He's gang tackled. It ends up towards King. Jarman puts up one hand. The umpire says free kick against Norwood and will go to Central District. 3-goal margin, pretty big too, given a low-scoring game. Jones with the footy.
I just had the glasses on Malloy. He does a lot of pushing and shoving. He gives a lot of free kicks away, doesn't he?
Angry little man. Almost, well, it did get reported the other week too, Malloy. But it's Jones. Concedes ground. Scotty Lee once again on his own. Finds Schwert at centre half back. Central's taken a long way home. Schwert's handball was a poor one. Landed at the feet of Lee, who goes back to Schwert. Now he's at half back. Grandstand side. That's a better kick. He's got a teammate, Geister, who's run down the ground. Geister went to play on. The umpire says he did, so he's called to play on. Up towards Fleming. Put up one hand. Almost took a great mark. The other one was held to the umpire. KG, I don't know. How'd you see that?
He paid a push. I don't know what for. I didn't see it.
Hanging on, Cage, I think.
Thank you, Jumbo. Goes to Jarman. Jarman now goes short, and in fact finds James almost in the centre of the ground. James now with the football. What's happening here? We wait on the umpires. What confusion reigns here, or is it the blood rule? What's happening here, for goodness sake? It would appear as though it's the blood rule. Who's going off now? It looks like Fighting Herrera's coming off the ground with the blood rule. So the game being held up again. I just wonder whether we can check the scores around the ground, thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro in the Market Plaza. Andrew.
Certainly can, Sir George. Geelong 6-16, Collingwood 5-9, Western Bulldogs 8-10, Carlton 6-3, and St Kilda 12-8, North Melbourne 5-3.
As Brian Herrera comes off, it looks like he's got a split lip and the blood rule, so he'll require stitches as we see Grant Coffey coming back on. The action with James now. James kicks long inside the 50. The pack forms back there. Oh, good mark. Has it been paid? Yes, it has. James West in front of the pack. Strong hands. I don't, for the life of me, can understand how Glenelg let this bloke go. He's the leading goal kicker at the moment.
Cage, if you've been at a club for 10 or 12 years, or probably not quite as long as that, you get a bit stale, and the coaches just go off you a little bit, and you get a new challenge, you get yourself fitter, and that's exactly what's happened here.
OK, James West now, directly in front, 25 metres from goal, goes bang, and the goal umpire moves a little to his right, but I think he's kicked it. Yes, he has. That's goal number 6 to Norwood. 6 goals, 4, Central's 2-4. Is it time to panic yet, Tim?
Certainly not, Ken. I just think Norwood's forwards are playing in front a bit more than the Dogs boys, and West has just found that. He's kicked 2 goals this quarter just by playing in front.
Do you want Lockwood to start to put his mark on the game too, Tim?
Yeah, a bit more athletic than Coff at full forward.
Yeah.
And hopefully he can continue that for the rest of the quarter.
They miss you, Timmy. You'd have had a couple by now.
Couple of points probably.
Cool,
Yeah.
calm and collected.
Forward line.
Paraded down the tunnel into the room. Obviously going to have stitches in his mouth.
There's a bounce down back in the centre. Lenny Pascoe went hard at the footy. Stevens, Downsborough burst his way through, showed good strength, gives it to Tyson. Norwood looking far the superior side. Out comes West. 1-2 attempts and he takes the mark. And just about on kicking range too, right on the 50, left half forward flank. He's booted 2. Tyson also has 2. Singles to Smart and Malloy. For Central's Cotton and Coffey. As we right behind West, kick off the boot is a magnificent kick. He had the breeze behind him. He's booted 3 now. Thanks, KG. And Norwood moves to 7-4. And Timmy Cook, I reckon you start panicking now. The Bulldogs 2-4. We've gone 22 minutes in the second term.
Yeah, again, West playing in front, and I'll say it all day. You blokes probably get sick of me saying it, but when you play in front, it just makes footy a hell of a lot easier. And yeah, Norwood got a handy lead of 5 goals.
We've got Rowie warming up.
Rowie's coming on,
getting
Jumbo.
himself, and King's coming off, I think. And
yes.
Rowie's organising. He's pushing and shoving. He's ready to go.
Stephen Rowe wearing number 3 comes onto the ground for the legs. He'll be pretty keen to get into the action. Stephen Rowe, I can tell you, lost a couple of teeth last week in a clash with Richard Gerke. Taken by James Norwood again going forward, up towards half forward, coming out all the bounces. It doesn't favour any player. Smart tapped it on very cleverly towards full forward. Oh, West too good for Geister. Kicks them with the balls in the air. Doesn't cover much territory. Geister goes back. Gee whiz, Geister appeared to be at the fit of the fumbles, then kicks an own goal. Gee whiz, he
did too.
Yeah, without being too critical of the young man, he just lumbered after that football, and he had trouble betting down, picking it up, so he's conceded a minor score. Norwood go to 7-5, Central's 2-4. Wasn't the...
Well, I thought Jimmy West absolutely manoeuvred the Central District's player out, and then he tried to do a Diodona Moradora.
Who?
Well, I thought
Diego Maradona, I think he meant. As we see Jones now with the footy.
Ever replay that, Jumbo?
Well, I thought he played soccer.
We'll rewind the tape at half-time, have another crack at it. Jones in the back pocket, 47 plays, 16 on the Samsung scoreboard. 5AA football thanks to Adelaide's Channel 7. Steinburner, possibly the Bulldogs' best player. He's taken it centre-half back. They need a lift from quite a few players. Scotty Lee's had possessions. So too Steinburner. Stevens up against Tyson. He goes short to Stevens now. Stop-start footy for the Bulldogs. The crowd want to get them into full swing. Steinburner, he's trying to do something. He's backed himself in. Tripped over at the vital moment. The umpire calls play on James Cop one high. The umpire said play it on Stephen Rowe's first possession. It's a high ball up towards half forward. Good mark by Smart. They're looking good, the Redlegs.
Hicks has been moved to centre-half back.
He has, yes.
Smart's kick one-on-one. Oh, West caught one round the head. The umpire saw it that way. It might have been soft, but the free kick was there. And Jimmy West all of a sudden making his mark. He got a rocket last week, dragged off the ground against North Adelaide and lining up for goal number 4.
Yes, well, I would have thought that Jimmy West, this would have suited him. The conditions absolutely perfect for marking. And I think Timmy's hit the nail right on the head in this the second quarter especially. He's just got himself into the front. He's frustrated Geister, and he's going to bring up his 4th goal.
Harvey off and
limping.
Shoal on. You don't often kick 4 goals in a quarter. West a big chance. As we said, he's normally a beautiful kick. He might have dragged that one slightly. He has. He's not happy too. Shakes the head. But it's all Norwood here at the Elizabeth Oval. 7 goals, 6, and that's 48. The Bulldogs are 2-4-16 on the Samsung scoreboard.
Beautiful conditions prevailing here today at the Elizabeth Oval with Norwood. Of course, the top side taking control. We've played almost 25 minutes into the second quarter.
Cage Central's only scoring 1 point in this quarter, and we're about 24 minutes in.
And the kick-off by Holm is a better one, straight into the arms of Girdham. He's rock and rolled by Macca. Only the hip and shoulder, no harm done. Girdham now with the football, tucked away in the back pocket, goes short, and in fact finds Cotter. Cotter there. Stop-start affair at the moment. Cotter on the half-back flank. Which way is he going to go? He looks for Scotty Lee. That's the way he's going to go. Scotty Lee in the middle of the ground. Cotter has a bounce. In fact, he'll go back towards young Jones first of all on the half-back flank. Lee to centre wing. That's the way that he'll go now, and Scotty Lee will take the mark. Centre wing, grandstand side. The Doggies moving the ball up towards their attacking area. Back towards Cotter. Cotter thought about the handball, then changed his mind. Doggies working the ball up towards their 50 metre on Geewitz. That's indirect. He goes back and finds Holm in the middle of the ground, so they're zigzagging all over the place.
Cage 5 touches and they've gone 30 metres.
Exactly right, Jumbo. They need to be more direct than I would have thought. McGowan can't get into the game. He contested that football. Lose it back to Andrew Jarman. He'll hold it in the area and a bounce down centre wing. Tim, that was a bit of zigzagging stuff, indirect footy.
Yeah, certainly indirect, but I think they're just going to have to take a few risks and try a few things different. And even if it means hanging on to the ball and zigzagging up and down a bit, they've just got to get it into their forward lines a bit more.
Comment there, Tim Cook, the Crows player.
Topside Norwood playing third-ranked Central District on their home ground. Tyson trying to bust his way through the pack. Perhaps could have gone for holding the ball. Umpire gave him the chance, and it's gone out of bounds, grandstand side centre wing.
Actually, Lockwood at centre half forward's not doing much, and of course Coffey down there. They haven't got a forward, Tim, at all.
Nah, the ball hadn't been down there for about 10 minutes, Rick.
Missing the big players of Conway, Cook and June. Jimmy Wind off the ground.
That's a better question, Jumbo. You're getting closer, son. Keep trying.
Starting to get better.
I might have to go out and play myself for the way I'm going.
Get him up towards half forward as James, though, gives it off to Fleming. Away goes Fleming. Not a bad kick to Smart, who's been busy at half forward. Oh, did well, the youngster. Takes the mark. He's only played 8 games, kicked 11 career goals. That's something Rick Davies likes, and I agree with you, Rick. He's not a bad player. There's his long, penetrating kick. Malloy jostling for position. From behind, is thumped away there by Hicks on that occasion. Comes to McIntosh. He's been fairly quiet. Back to Tyson, who's booted 2. He might make it 3. He's got West on the line. Free kick or mark? No, the umpire said play it on. Should have been a free kick.
Little Westy. He's going berserk, Westy.
Well, the siren sounded and put the Bulldogs out of their misery for about 20 minutes because of the long break. It's Norwood 7 goals, 6-48. Central's 2-4-16, the margin 32 points in favour of the Redlegs. You're listening to 5AA football.
Pretty good move because the ball's been down there, but they've got a score, Cage, don't they? They've got to start getting the cot out of the centre.
And Hicks is back at centre half forward, and we've got Lockwood at full forward, so he has made some changes, Stevie Wright. The tap down taken by Easto, gives it to McIntosh. McIntosh around his body towards half forward. Opportunity for Green onto the ground. Green has the football now on the half-back flank. Long kick back to centre half forward. Girdham is there, so is McCormack. McGowan has the football, but in the interim a free kick has been paid. It'll go the way of McCormack. Norwood. McCormack will take the free kick from the half-back flank outer side. Terrific conditions prevailing here this afternoon at Elizabeth. Bright sunshine, no wind to speak of. The kick back towards centre wing. Green comes in, but a good mark has been taken here by Harvey. Back onto the ground. Harvey to Tyson. Tyson now towards centre half forward. West comes out. Can't take the mark. Good recovery. McGowan comes in. That's better. I need that. Goes to Herrera. Those little handballs. He gives them away. Goes to Potter. Back now to Cotton. Cotton slow. Can't pick it up. He's under the pump again. In comes Jum. He's going to get a free kick for hanging on. And Cotter takes the free kick on the half-back flank. Goes to way of Fighting Herrera. And Fighting Herrera takes the ball on the defensive side of centre.
Free kicks at half-time. 9 apiece. The ball with Herrera. Works it up towards the centre of the ground, taken by McGowan.
It's exactly what the Bulldogs need. This bloke getting kicked. He's a two-possession player.
And what they need as well is a few goals on the board as we see Schwert over the top to Saywell. Sally Saywell. He's got a paddock to work with, and he runs too. He can kick a goal. He's 55 out, starting to drift back with the breeze. Not good enough. And Bowman says, thank you very much. Wraps it up on the last line. And Lockman Bowman will take the kick.
Should have made more of that, Sally Saywell. He was probably just out of his range, Tim, wouldn't he?
Yeah, certainly too far to kick the goal.
Looking for the policeman pit, but there's a turnover, an important one too. Goes back towards McGowan, important possessions to Girdham on the left boot, kicks towards goal. Oh, big fly there. Might have gone through if Hicks went up high, flew like a bird, and it's a point to the Bulldogs.
Tim, it just looks a bit different, the Bulldogs' approach now to this third quarter. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bulldogs take this game right up to Norwood now.
McGowan's starting to set a few things up. And
yes.
If they can keep that going, I'm sure
Going to say, Cage, they want to.
Well, they're only 5 goals down, and in modern-day football, 5 goals is nothing, Jumbo.
I'd like to ask Tim a question about Roger Girdham shortly when we get a break, but the ball now with McCormack in the back pocket brings it grandstand side. Towards the half-back flank, Steinburn, an exciting Steinburner, flew high, forced the error too. It spills free to McGowan, who concedes ground. Back to Schwert. Schwert up towards centre half forward. Out they come, 3 deep, couldn't take the mark. Play hit high, there was home. The umpire said play it on. Gurdon goes after the footy. The umpire says give it to me. Roger Gurdon's form this year, in comparison to recent years, nowhere near what he normally produces.
Yeah, he tends to spend a few quarters on the bench as well, just to rest his ageing legs. But, yeah, I think he's tending to try and hit the body a bit more than actually getting the ball. So if he can sort of work on that a bit more.
Harvey, his kick is smothered, goes to McIntosh. Chambers is in there, and then Mac is going to get a free kick for a high tackle. Plays on quickly, goes to the outer side, has the bounce, raises the eyes, kicks towards the centre wing. Green gets back there first, can't take the mark. He's in pursuit though, has front spot. Tyson joins him, busts him off the ball, goes the way of young Smart. He paddles the ball and it goes out of play, centre wing, outer side. We're into the third quarter by 3 minutes. It's 7-7 Norwood 49. The Doggies 2-5-17, a margin of 32 points in favour of the Redlegs. Easto in front, taken by Scotty Stevens. Gets it to Potter. Potter over the top, goes to McGowan. Did about 6 possessions in 3 minutes, McGowan. Hardly touched a foot in the first half, but Bowman in defence, almost a mark. Picked up on that occasion by Daniels. Heavy traffic in the centre half forward there. Picked up. Here's a chance now for Hicks. Can he kick a goal? I think he can. And as I said a moment ago to Timmy Cook, I just get the feeling the work rate and McGowan's influence, if that can be maintained, the Doggies will get back into this game, I can tell you. Norwood 7-7, Central 3-5. Let's go around the grounds, thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro in the Central Market Plaza.
At the G, Geelong 8-23-71, Collingwood 8-11-59, Western Bulldogs 13-12-90, Carlton 10-8-68. At Waverley, St Kilda 16-11-107, North Melbourne 9-7-61, North Adelaide 11-3-69, Port 7-3-45, Sturt 9-9, West 8-3.
Yes, and as I said, we'll go to Timmy Cook. Tim, you get the impression they're going to get back in this game?
Yeah, McGowan's certainly starting to have a big influence on the game, and I think you'll see the Dogs get a few more goals.
And another chance for the Bulldogs. They go out to Steinburn. The kick came from
This kid
Squirt.
impresses me, I'm telling you. This kid impresses me.
He is a Peter Vardy lookalike. Doesn't lack any courage either. Goes hard at the footy. The Dogs going to attack. Sable breaks clear out towards the skipper in Gurdon. He's dispossessed. Norwood defence under pressure for the first time in the game. Holm tries to go through. McIntosh on all fours. Just squirts the ball out of a pack. McGowan again to Steinburner. Tried to break the tackle. McGowan goes after the footy. He's wrapped up. Turnover to Obbs. Good tackle there by Holm. It's heavy stuff at half back. Finally McIntosh goes out wide to Harvey. He's crunched him to the ground. It's got to be a free kick. The crowd don't like it, but the free kick was there.
That's the only problem with Green's game. I like his attack on the body of the ball, but he just gives away the bad free kick too often, Peter Green.
Kick in up towards centre wing, grandstand side. Good mark, Geister. That's better. Put up the big arms and took a strong mark in opposition to Downsborough.
See, Wills, no one's giving him any leads, any focus. No one's putting their hand up forward for him.
So he's forced to go wide, 2 towards centre half forward off. Player there in Lockwood. I thought he had one arm held. Pitt's taken the mark. You didn't think he went hard enough for footy?
No.
Coach? Okay, comment there from Kenneth George. The kick up towards that West. What's he doing in the centre of the ground? He's on the left boot, but he decides to handball. Comes out to McCormack. Norwood making some uncustomary errors. It's McIntosh up towards half forward. A chance for Downsborough. Crunched there by the agitator in Scotty Lee. Taken by Rowe. That's his second possession. Up towards Ops. It wasn't his best one either. Ops says, why don't you handball at the body? Stephen Rowe says, sorry, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Well, the great thing about it is the crowd starting to really come in, and we know the Bulldog supporters can, especially when they've got a bit of a sniff, but they're forcing Norwood into making a few mistakes.
Throw in grandstand side, coming hard at the football. Players, Cotton is there. Also Gurdon. Ops does it well to get it out. On this occasion to James. Goes back to Harvey. Norwood inside the 50 with a high kick up towards the 50-metre line. Tyson has kicked 2 goals, goes in. Also Green throws his body over the football, and Stephen Rowe, the 5AA commentator, throws his body over the pack, and David Walk, the runner, comes out and gives him a bucketful.
Cage, I tell you what, he thought he was a jockey getting on the horse then.
On the 50-metre attacking line for Norwood, they lead 7-7-49. The Doggies 3-5-23 on the Samsung scoreboard. Arnold, that's a good tap, kicked in the mid-air by Cotton. Back towards centre wing, pushing and shoving there. McCormack. Holm is there. McCormack first player to the football, tackled by Holm. Thrown away and thrown out of play. And where's he gone, McCormack? Has he hurt himself? He was thrown into the bunker. Picks himself up, limps away, jogs gingerly away.
Cage, he's a bit quicker than I thought he was, McCormack.
He's a tough player. The throw in centre wing. They get momentum picking up in this game. Harvey can't pick up the football. Easto, Handball is smothered by McGowan. Goes to Holm, back to McGowan. McGowan, an important player. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Hicks puts up one hand. Can't take the football. Goes in the second time. Gives it off. Or should have given it. Does so to Sally Saywell. Saywell, you've got to kick a goal, son. In fact, he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. Strike me, Pink. You can't afford to miss those opportunities. It wasn't an easy shot, but he should have made a lot more of that, and the free kick will be taken by Jerry Dantosia.
Yeah, bad luck there by the young fella in Saywell. He had an opportunity, Tim, a couple of minutes ago, running through the 50-metre and just meffed it up.
Yeah, I thought he probably could have perhaps killed that one round to the top of the square. We had a player free there, but never mind.
5AA football, thanks to Adelaide's Channel 7. We'll check AFL scores shortly. Dantosia tucked away in the back pocket, brings it back towards centre half back. Up they go. In fact, the only man that jumped in was Bowman.
Been a good player.
And took a pretty good mark. Yes, Hicks has got a lift. He's kicked a goal in the third term, but it's got to do more. They're breaking down across half forward. There's Bowman's kick. Up to the centre wing. Big Eastor jumped after the footy. Rose in there as well. Spills out towards the boundary line now. And we'll see a boundary throw in between centre wing and left half forward for the Bulldogs.
I just see the umpires, the Cage, they're going across, they're looking right into the sun there, and they don't seem to be making any decisions at all.
Hasn't been all that bad. I've missed a few.
Norwood by 26 points. Centrals with a breeze in the third term. Steinburner again did well. Finds Schwert. Away goes Stephen Schwert to McGowan. He's had 6 possessions already in the third term. Geister couldn't take it. Hobbs with pace. Does well on the left foot up towards centre half forward. Out comes the Raider.
That's my point about Peter Green now. He's given away a relayed free kick. He doesn't need to do that.
So Tyson takes it over the top. Well, it could be a big turnover here. West towards goal with a handball to Downsborough. Flanked by Smart. Smart can go all the way. 20 metres out and kicks a goal.
Now, Peter Green should be dragged for that. There's no excuse for that. Tim, if you were coach of the Bulldogs, how would you do that relayed free kick?
Yeah, I don't want to be too harsh on Greeny, but on the same KG, I'd bring him off the ground and let him know that it's just not on, because when it costs you a goal...
But he's been doing that, Tim, for probably 5 years now.
He did it at Albert Oval last year, KG, and probably cost him the game.
Well, I think he's coming off. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he's coming off, Peter Green. They are.
Norwood 8-7-55, Central 3-5-23, and the margin back out now to 35 points.
The runner's out to Peter Green. Jarman's off with the blood rule. Back in the middle. As we wait, as the Norwood player come on the ground, yes, he has. King come onto the ground.
Cage, a bit of a steadier there for the Redlegs. They didn't need that, the Bulldogs.
No.
You were dead right there. He didn't need to give that 50-metre.
Exactly right. The bounce down back in the middle. I like the kids attacking the footy, but just silly free kick.
Well, what's the good of getting it if you're going to give it away?
Good point. James with the football. It's a good comment for them, Farmer, there. Up towards centre half forward. Taken by Downsborough. Goes back towards Harvey. Harvey up towards centre half forward. At the back, Malloy with him is Jones. Jones has fallen over. Malloy stays on his feet. He's going to kick another one. Bang, he goes and kicks another one. Well, that's not what the Doggies wanted. Norwood go to 9-7-61. Central 3-5-23. That's his second goal. Let's check around the grounds thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro, Central Market Plaza.
Good on you, Andrew. He must have 6 pairs of eyes and 4 pairs of ears. And here it's all Norwood. 61 plays, 23.
And they'd be small ears, wouldn't they?
A big margin too. 38 points now in favour of the Redlegs. Ken Central's answer. The way they're playing, I don't think they can. Cotton went to his left, back to his right. Now goes over the top to Gurnham. Turnover again. They're munching around with the footy. Not good play there by the Bulldogs. Norwood break away with the footy through Tyson, but the umpire...
He's given it in the back.
Well, a reprieve there for the Bulldogs.
That was terrible play by Cotton. He didn't absolutely... Like, he is an AFL player. That was a shocking decision.
Peter Green off.
Yeah, Green off and Cotter on. The ball now with Scotty Lee. 65 out from goal. Good kick up towards Lockwood. That's better play. It's been missing all day in the Central District full forward line. You heard the jumbo with Lockwood stats to half-time, only 6 possessions, but a big chance to kick a goal and a much-needed one to Central District. Bowen Lockwood, only 19, 193 centimetres, 85 kilo. Promising player. Lines them up at the northern end. They need a goal. The Doggies, I think it's just off line. Skewed off the side of the boot, through for a point. The Bulldogs move to 3-6. Norwood 9-7 on the Samsung scoreboard. And Tim, you've got to kick those goals to get back into the game.
Certainly do. Costly miss there by Bowen Lockwood, but at least he's presented himself and took a good grab.
Norwood now about to bring the ball back into play. Dale Fleming with a long kick. That's a good kick. Back towards the centre of the ground. The pack forms off hands. It goes to Lachlan Bowman. Been a good player in defence today for Norwood. In fact, he's had a good season. Lachlan Bowman, a much improved player over the last couple of seasons.
Another farmer, Cage.
Oh, the farmers are everywhere. Haven't they got talent too, Jumbo? It's nice to have two farmers as our comments men today. Bounce down. Tim Cook, of course, the Crows player and Bulldogs player. Bounce down. Big men go at it. There is Stephen Rowe. Tackled by Hicks, and the ball is held to him.
Yeah, Tim's a farmer part-time physiotherapist. Is that right, Tim?
Yeah, we'll just leave it
the other way
David.
around.
It's got a bit more... Well, the bounce down. Outside the 50. Arnold gets up. High Easter hands to the football. Coming through was Rowe. Tries to work it away. Can't do so. The Bulldogs want holding the ball, but it's not forthcoming. Will, get it moving, old son.
I will, KG. 9.761 to 3.624. Very handy margin too in favour of the Redlegs. Hasn't been a pretty game, but they'll be happy. They'll take the 2 points. They won here last year by less than a kick. Up they go again. The tap down at centre half forward. Good work there by Lockwood. Found home. Back to Saywell. This is not a bad kick. It might go the way. I think it might have. Could be a goal to Central's. Great kick from Saywell. That's what the doctor ordered. They moved to 4-6 on the Samsung scoreboard. Norwood at 9-7. The Doggies coming back.
Well, not only did the Bulldogs needed a goal, we did too, because we backed them 39 plus. And I tell you what, Cage, they're coming back. And to me, that was a pretty good bit of work there by Saywell.
Yeah, that was a bit better. He's had a couple of shots today and put one out in the full and missed one from about 50. So you get a bit of confidence from that, and hopefully you can kick him about 6 or 7 more.
Actually, when you said, Cage, 5 goals, or say 4 now, it's not a lot of goals, is
Well,
it,
not
really?
in modern day football, but you're going to hand it to Norwood. Every time the Doggies come back at him, Norwood reply with a couple of goals. Jarman back onto the ground after the blood rule, kicks off the ground only as far as Geister, who wobbles it out wide. Now the chase is on. Pitt, Saywell. Saywell in front. Will it sit for him? No, it won't. Being harassed by Pitt, Saywell. The ball goes out of play. Centre wing out of side. To Norwood's credit, they've answered every challenge the Bulldogs have thrown at them today. They're a very talented side, the legs.
Pitt's been a bit quieter. Normally takes 6 or 7 marks. Today,
Yes.
only a couple.
Well,
Yes.
I think you'll find that the bigger ground is going to catch him out a bit, because there's a lot more space to go to, whereas on those shorter grounds, he's always underneath the drop of the ball.
We see Potter now with the football. Gets it out for Stevens. Stevens inside the 50. The Doggies go again. Good mark. That's a terrific mark by Cotton. That was an absolute gem of a mark, under enormous amount of pressure, and the young man has grabbed it, and he'll kick now from about, I would suggest, about 40 metres. He's directly in front, and this would be a much-needed goal. Gee, this is a great place to watch football. It's a terrific oval. Great setting here at Elizabeth. He kicks, going. I think it's gone all the way. It has. It's a belter. Doggies go to 5. That's his second. Thank you, Wilkes. 5-6. That is 36. Norwood are 9-7 to 61. So a good game of football here at the Elizabeth Oval. Let's go around the ground. Thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro, Central Market Plaza.
At the MCG, the Cats 9.26.
Thanks, Andrew. 9.26 to Geelong. That would have to be some sort of record. Shocking kicking. They just hold on over Collingwood. As you see Jarman work his way out of the centre, up towards half forward. The 2 old stages here, and Lee and McIntosh. A lot of games between the two. McIntosh is heading for 350. Lee goes back to Stevens, who marks it out of side centre wing. The Bulldogs looking better. The quick kick come from McGowan over to Holm. Holm storms through the centre. Out comes Hicks. With him is Bowman. Bowman should have spoiled. Hicks did well. Gets slung to the ground. Could have been a free kick. Play on, says the umpire. McCormack backs himself in, goes to the far side, bouncing ball towards McIntosh. With him is Lee again. They have the numbers of Redlegs. Tyson got a shocking bounce, coming through Harvey, working his way hard, tries to knock it out. In fact, it wasn't Harvey, it was a Smart looking for Harvey. It ends up with Tyson. His handball was smothered. Cotter tries to break clear. It ends up with Obbs to Jarman, who's been a quiet player. On the left boot, Andrew Jarman up towards Malloy. The kick was fantastic. Went over one Bulldog, landed in the arms of Malloy. And Glenn Malloy has kicked a couple of goals today, one in the second, one in the third. Can make it 3 from about 45 out.
Fleming off and Shell on. Of course, every time Jars gets hold of the football, if you've got 10 possessions, he just makes so much good of the footy, gets use of the ball, and Malloy should put Norwood back in front.
Hasn't been his greatest game today. Malloy pops it up high, and it's not a good kick. In fact, he's kicked it out of bounds on the full, so Central's through Harady can bring it back into play. Or
Pretty inconsistent, Tim, isn't he, Malloy?
Yeah, you'd think he certainly leads pretty well and gets his hand on the footy, but he just lets himself down with a few silly things and kicks like that one.
KG's favourite man, Peter Green, back on the arena. The thumping kick too from Schwert. Arnold couldn't take the mark. Stephen Rowe, one attempt, second attempt, does it well. On the left boot, he's got a player out wide all on his own too. A chance now, it's a long kick there from Harvey, up towards Malloy. He punts away from him. McIntosh swoops, and McIntosh might have kicked a goal. I think he has. Great play by Gary McIntosh. Norwood 10-7. You're right, KG. They answer every time the Bulldogs get close. 10-7, 67. Central's 5-6, 36 on the Samsung scoreboard.
Jumbo, you've got to hand the legs. Every time the Bulldogs make the charge, the Norwood stand up and they respond.
Yeah, no question, KG, and that was great work by Rowie there, and he just gives Harvey a bit of a tap on the behind there, but great work by Rowie. He just saw Harvey out the corner of his eye. Good work, and then McIntosh just mopped it up. And, well, they just get that breathing space back again.
31 points in front here at the Norwood side. 17, almost 18 minutes into the third term. Terrific conditions. Magnificent weather in Adelaide. Taken by Rowe. Handballs away to Jarman. Has an airy. A chance now for McGowan. Gets it over the top to Stevens. His wobbles a kick into the centre of the ground. They meet it. Pits the first part. Tackled by Holm. Peter Green comes in. Works hard. Still got the body over the football. Does well on that occasion. Gives it to Stevens. He in turn to Scotty Lee. They're in towards the half-forward 50-metre line. Pushing and shoving. Hicks has got to give more. Lachlan Bowman's absolutely giving him a bath at the moment. They're breaking down at centre half forward. Bowman goes out wide, finds Stephen Rowe. Rowe on the half-back flank. Plays on quickly, Stephen. Back towards the centre wing, pushing and shoving. Macca in there. Can't take the mark. Cotter comes through. Takes possession, then loses it. Back towards the centre of the ground. A chance for Stevens. Has pace. The ball just sits for him. Picks it up at the second attempt. Goes to the handball. Finds Green. Peter Green now from the centre of the ground towards centre half forward. He may have found no. Harvey juts in just in front of Hicks. All the handballs are shocking a damn toss here. Spills out the back. The young Steinburner has an airy. Goes back in the second time. Eastoe does well for big man. The handball's not good, however. And he goes as far as Girdham. Girdham now on the attacking side of centre. Up towards half forward. Lockwood comes out. Can he take the football? He's been harassed by Daniels. Oh, Daniels does it well. Helped by Pitt. Gets the handball to Rowe. And away the legs go, Will.
Stephen Rowe at half-back looking for an option further afield. He's got James up there. Also Schwert. Spills off hands and out of play. And once again, a costly turnover, Rick. It looked like a goal to Centrals, and the kick had to be accurate, and it wasn't.
Yes, well, I think Cotter there, he just ran straight through the middle of the pack, whereas he should have given off. But Lockwood just fell down on the outer side, and they just can't get it into their 50. They can get it into their 50, but they just can't score.
Norwood by 31 points. Harvey streams through the centre again up towards centre half forward. Lee held his ground, showed good courage. Coming through now, Harada brings it grandstand side centre wing towards Steinberg, who's been very good. One-on-one with Obbs. He does well, the youngster. Good tackle by Obbs. The umpire allows it to go on. It's Girdham to Peter Green, up towards Lockwood and Daniels, teammates of the Port Power. The umpire allows it to go on. McCormack out wide, in turn to Pitt. Stephen Pitt at halfback, looking for an option in Stephen Rowe, finds that player, and Rowie marks at halfback.
That Norwood defence is absolutely superb. He goes over the top to Harvey with a good handball, up towards half forward, looks for Downsborough, should mark, does so, in front on this occasion of Geister, comes inside the 50. The kick back towards centre half forward, Malloy comes out, chance now for Smart, kick a goal, son, you're in distance, dribbles one, which way will it go? The wrong side of the goal post, and sneaks through for a minor score. Norwood go to 10-8. Central's 5-6 on the Samsung scoreboard, 20 minutes into the third quarter.
Great work there by Malloy, wasn't it, Wilds? Because it was going to be an easy mark to Lee, but he just punched the ball and gave Smart an opportunity to kick a goal.
Yeah, he went hard at the footy, the former Melbourne player. Of course, his dad also played for Melbourne, Graham Malloy, back in the early 70s. We'll check, scores must be getting very close to full time in the AFL shortly. Waiting now for Cotter, he's in deep in defence. They've got to get a move on with the Breeze. The Breeze is picking up here at the Elizabeth Oval. Top-ranked Norwood playing against third place Central District. Oh, kick short again. Set up Scotty Lee. He's equal to the task though. Gives it back to Cotter, who bounds away from the back pocket. No, it kicks to no one in particular. Eastor says thank you very much. He's got Smart there. Also Malloy's got away. Malloy might be the better option, it is. And Malloy marks 45 out from goal. Lockwood off and Coffey on. Daniels escorts Lockwood to the boundary. Gee, defenders love to do that too. Go right up to the race.
Do. Yep.
Say, see you later.
Well, Malloy's about 30 metres out. And if he kicks this, I think Norwood are home.
As you'd say, it's probably wrap up the chickens time, Rick, as we watch Malloy, who's booted a couple of goals.
Good kick. Yeah.
Kick off the boot. He kicked his last one out on the full. He's a little bit better. He's kicked the point. And Norwood moved to 10-9. That's 69. Central's 5-6, 36. on the Samsung scoreboard. A couple of final scores thanks to Aces Bar Central Market.
Yes, Geelong held on to win by 8 points over Collingwood. Geelong 9-26-80. Collingwood 10-12-72. The Bulldogs by 36 over Carlton. Bulldogs 16-14-110. Carlton 11-8-74. And St Kilda will beat North Melbourne.
Okay, back here at the Elizabeth Oval goes to Cotter. Cotter has the football. Handball away. As they come back through Swirt. Swirt has it now, gives it to Stevens. Back to Swirt in the 1-2. Back towards half forward they go. Look for Steinberger. And a Norwood try got in his way. Goes to Hicks. Hicks up towards full forward, but getting back. And Daniels takes the mark. Well, Norwood trainer got in the way of Steinberger. Then that puts him under enormous amount of pressure. But Daniels takes the mark.
Should have been reported for that trainer. Should not be anywhere near the players.
Should be a free kick.
As we see Daniels now back towards the half-back flank. Up high went Easto and Arnold. The ball just trickles out of play outside the 50 for the central side. They trail on the Samsung scoreboard. 10-9 plays, 5-6.
Well, you're the former umpire, Cage. What do you think? That's terrible.
Well, he shouldn't be there. I agree with that, but there's no free kick. But he shouldn't have, or he or she shouldn't have been there, Jumbo. You're quite right. Easto, the tap away. Steinberger with a chance now. Tries to break the tackle. Does so. Comes back onto the right leg. Puts it to the point of the square. Getting back there is Pitt. Can't take the mark. Pitt has the pace. Supported by Daniels. Pitt now goes onto the left leg around his body. No one in particular out there. The chase is on. Chambers gives the chase. So does Pitt again. Chambers first player of the football. Pulled away. You've got to get a free kick. Now I ask you. Chambers throws his arms up in disgust. Now I ask you, there were two players there. The umpire was in the perfect spot. He wouldn't have had to have seen them.
Are you asking me, Rick, or Tim?
I'm asking the bloke upstairs, I think. Take it over, Wilds.
Thanks, KG. Boundary thrown. Central's having it right half forward flank. They haven't made most of their attacks. We can't give you the inside 50s, Rick, but I tell you, I reckon they've had more than Norwood this quarter.
Yeah, I just looking up there, Tim. Coffey just doesn't present himself enough, does he?
No, he certainly doesn't. For a big bloke in his athleticism, he should be, he should be hungry for the footy, but he certainly isn't today.
Cotton tries to break clear. It ends up with Stephen Swirt. Sweeping handball wasn't a good one too. Girdham got crunched. The umpire says illegally. And Roger Girdham, he's been around for a long, long while, can have a shot from 50. Played a lot of football too as Girdham. He's a skipper, 245 games. There's his kick, will land somewhere around the square. Oh, Jarman used the body cleverly, allowed Bowman to mark from the side. Andrew Jarman's a clever play, gives off to Daniels, the running Daniels to Scholl. Scholl at half-back, works it up grandstand centre wing, the bouncing ball. Who's going to get there first? Out comes James West. You wouldn't back him in a fit, but he was there. James West beating a Raider and Lee, and it goes out of bounds.
Bowman's playing a great game at centre-half back, I can tell you, for Norwood.
Well, you mentioned, Cage, early in before the game started that Hicks has been in pretty good form there, but he's just shut him right down today.
He certainly has. The umpires, of course, wearing black armbands here at the Elizabeth Oval today, in respect to Frank Armstrong, former great umpire who passed away during the week at the good age of 94. As Steinberger up towards half forward they go. Opportunity now for Dan Toxia, has the football, kicks back around his body, back towards centre wing. Easto in front, can't take the mark. Macca bumps into Swirt, gives a handball away. Stephen Rowe pulled off the football, played for the free kick, wasn't forthcoming. Taken away by Cotter, gives Peter Green a chance. Has the football, gives it to Stevens. That's terrific work by Peter Green. Gives it to Stevens, who wobbles a poor kick up towards full forward, out of bounds on the full. But Peter Green had good vision then and gave the handball over the top of his head to... on that occasion.
They needed to do more though, Cage.
They do.
Norwood to come out and they'll clear and get a goal here.
Dan Toshia from the half-back flank centres it to Lachlan Bowman, who's played an absolute belter at centre half-back. Goes to Daniels. Daniels comes towards the grandstand side. Pits his target, can't find that player. Ops is in there, goes without the football. Girdham gives it to Chambers outside the 50. Now they're inside the 50. Bowman gets back again. Can't take the mark. Ball to ground. Green head over the football. Taken by McCormick. Nice and strong at the footy. Goes to Harvey, away the legs go.
Gee, the defence is very tough and rugged as we see Easto. Big kick to up towards half forward. Geister from behind brings it to the ground. Cotter and Smart in pursuit. It goes out wide. Tyson all on his own, should be able to pick up and deliver. He does now, just inside the boundary line, outside centre wing, concedes ground, back to Stephen Rowe. The Redlegs trying to set up a play here, up towards half forward. Scotty Lee over the top, should have taken the mark. Swooping was Malloy, goes back after it, second attempt, did well. You're right, Rick, he's recovering very well. A chance back for Tyson. His kick was a shocking, and they must be playing with a flat football. The bounce beat Girdham, taken there by West, but not for long. Herrera wraps him up. Steinberger wants a free kick. Well played, young man. He bursts away, darts away from a pack. gives it off to big Arnold. Arnold just put it straight up in there, did not look, kicked towards centre half forward. Hicks and Bowman. Oh, Hicks used the body well. Umpire, I thought, was going to play a free kick against him, but Hicks will kick for goal from 55 out.
Pretty touchy, that one, because I just thought that Hicks did edge him out, and Bowman told the umpire too. He got to the front spot, Bowman. He did the right thing.
Bowman's beaten Hicks today. He's one centre half back, so Hicks goes long. Oh, player's got away in green. Should mark. Yes, he does. Tucked away in the left full forward pocket, Peter Green. And if ever the Bulldogs needed the goals with this kick now, they've only had 5 today. Norwood have had kicked 10.
Yeah, Tim Green's done a couple of silly things, but since coming back onto the ground, he's looked all right.
Yeah, obviously got a message from Coach Stevie Wright, and just trying to control his aggression a bit, which when he does, he's a very fine player.
My word, he is.
He got the message from KG too. Number 24 for the Bulldogs, Peter Green. He's played 45 games, kicked 45 goals. Can he make it 46? Great kick by Green. It's given him some sort of hope, just a little bit of hope. The door slightly ajar. The Bulldogs 6-6, Norwood 10-9 on the Samsung scoreboard.
Well, I think that the Bulldogs, Timmy, I think they've just got a little bit of a sniff, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, well, you look at the scoreboard and they're only 4 goals down, and they haven't really played that well this quarter, so, you know, you can't write them off just yet.
Okay, Cage, bring them home, son.
Okay, son, here we go.
Can he make a game of it?
Come on, son, you're down a bit.
10-9, 69. The League Central 6-6. And that is 42, of course, and that's a margin of 27
he's probably thinking about Channel 9 tonight, Wilkes.
I think you think it's about Sally. Sally halfway to
Oh, yeah, I am thinking about that. She's in Dublin, I'm here. The bounce down. The big men will contest it. Arnold and also Easter. Arnold the tap away. Chance for Holm. Has the football. Appear to get a high one. Play on, says the umpire. Macca and Holm. But there's the siren to end the third quarter here at the Elizabeth Oval, and Macca having a few words with Holm. The umpire's there. No harm done. Macca always doing something. Macca always in the game. Doesn't like Holm. Holm doesn't like Macca. They're still exchanging a few words. Look at Macca.
Good bloke, Macca.
Have a look at him. He's a wonderful character.
Now, Kate, we saw his wife a couple of weeks ago, and he did say that he was a fantastic family.
Very, very good.
Tim, what do you think of a big coffee into the centre?
Yeah, it worked very well in Port Pirie when we were down at three-quarter time with North Adelaide, so hopefully he can get his fist onto a few of them.
Okay, there's the sign to start the final term here at the Elizabeth Oval. Conditions fantastic. Coffee, Easto. Easto hands with the football. Taken by Holm. He's tried hard. Goes to McGowan. Well, copped the high one, did he? Yes, says the umpire. And McGowan, in fact, it's Steinburner. Steinburner will, in fact, take the free kick from the centre of the ground. Been a terrific player all day for the Bulldogs. Steinburner been easily their best player. Up towards Lockwood. Daniels comes in from the side, gets the handball to Shoal, who throws it away like a hot cake, goes to Easto. Does it? Whoa! Oh, man, that's Easto like you wouldn't believe. And Easto did it very, very well for big man with the kick. Only as far as Cotton, a bit of aggression. The tempo is lifted. Stevens has the football. Goes out wide to Geister. Geister outside the 50. This is going to be a beauty this last quarter. The kick inside towards the 50. There is McCormack. Breaks the tackle from Cotter. McCormack bounds away. Bangs it back. Back towards the centre of the ground. Pushing and shoving. A good mark at the back there has been taken on that occasion by McGowan. The handball now comes into Holm. Holm now towards centre half forward. Lockwood hasn't got in the game at all today. Comes out the back towards Dan Tostier. The left foot kick will find James on the half-back flank. Terrific opening this last term.
Yeah, pretty fiery start. We see Brett James go over the top now to Dan Tostier. The vice captain on the left boot works it up to half forward. Wasn't his best kick. In fact, it was probably his worst. And marked by Herrera. Central's need the first couple to have any chance at all. I still say there's a breeze out there, but it's 3 versus 1. So we see Cotton, the handballs a shock. Andrew Jarman with the breeze on the left boot. Brings it up towards centre half forward. Rowe could have gone all the way. He had a paddock in front of him, didn't see it. And now goes back for a shot for a goal from 50.
The 588 commentator would love to kick this goal. Oh, Rowie.
Well, he's got a big opportunity, and he's knocked off probably one of their better players in Scotty Lee. It was just a bumping duel, and Rowie came out on top.
Plenty of admiration too, Rowie, for Scotty Lee. Not normally the greatest kick for goal. Off the boot, has it wobbled through? No, he's missed. He perhaps should have gone all the way before. He's kicked a point, and Norwood moved to 10 goals, 10. Central's 6-6, and the margin a fairly healthy one in favour of the Redlegs.
The kick in by Scotty Lee. Comes straight down the ground, looks for Holm, and Holm shouldn't mark. He does.
Played pretty well, Holm.
Yeah, he's given his all today. Goes to McGowan, goes onto his left boot, has good vision, goes out towards. Oh, Steinburner, he is absolutely poleaxed.
He's hit
by
two of them.
McCormack.
He's hit two of them.
He's his own man down. He's poleaxed Steinburner and his own man as well.
He hit both of them.
Tyson, he's taken them both out. He's been reported, I would suggest, by umpire Pfeiffer, but he's absolutely poleaxed Steinburner.
And Dobbs.
And Obbs. I tell you what, he was like a raging bull.
Rick, was he reported?
Yes, he was reported.
He's
I think that it was either charging. There's a lot of pushing and shoving there, and McGowan's in there actually pushing. But that's the way McCormack plays. When he rushes
too late though, Rick.
Well, he was
Delaney
a little bit
couple
late.
of years
He
ago.
was too
Delaney
late.
was in Disneyland for a month.
But that could be the turning point, because Ricky McGowan's pretty upset. I don't think the other fella over there, I think it's number 34, isn't it, out there, other side? Is that Steinburner? And he's just gone down, and I don't think he's going to take his kick.
He's got a lot of courage, this lad. As I said before, he's played a great game.
Well, he's best man on the ground.
Well, he's up, which is terrific news.
That would have hurt. And there's been a penalty too. 25-metre or 50-metre penalty.
50-metre penalty.
He's about 35 metres out shooting for goal, and I think it's Scotty Lee that's got hold of the footy.
And Hulme and McIntosh still having words, so pretty fiery at the moment here at Elizabeth Oval.
Was it ever? See, he was right. It was far too late. Steinburner's up. He's okay, which is good news. But tell you what, Lee kicks towards goal. Has he kicked a goal? He may have just kicked the goal. He has. That's brought the Doggies back into the ball game. Now we see Norwood 10-10. Centrals now go to 7-6, and we do have a ball game on our hands. 10-10-70. Centrals 7-6-48. A margin of 22 points. Jumbo.
And I was just about to say, Tim, a very good goal into a strong breeze then.
Yeah, certainly the wind's blowing absolute havoc here at Elizabeth Oval. Very good.
I tell you what, Cage, the chance going up now for the Bulldogs.
Yes, back in the middle, a bounce down. Bounce down now. Terrific start to this last quarter. Bounce down. The big men contested. Coffey is there. Working hard. Cotton gets it onto the ball onto the boot. Back towards Stevens. The racehorse is off as the football. Great tackle by Tyson. Brings the ball to ground. An opportunity for James. He loses the football. Back to Jarman. Aerial ping pong. Up towards centre wing. Tyson. Swert is there, but the ball goes out of play, and the throw in. Centre wing grandstand side will take pace.
Well, the Redlegs have answered the challenge all day, boys. And, they just need to settle down, and the Bulldogs have got a bit of a run.
The crowd is pumped at the moment over the top. Opportunity now for Gurdon. Can't take the football. Harvey gets it to Dan Toshia. Back to McIntosh. Stevens comes in. Dan Toshia there again. Forced out of play, but the ball stays in play. Tyson does it well. He's put down by Holm. Up towards centre wing. Coming through. There's Smart. Down he goes. Smart with a handball. This is a terrific start in the last quarter. Mack has got it out wide. Chance now as we see Harvey coming away with the football. The left foot kicks up Yuki. And he's found James West. And James West from about 30 metres will take the kick. Directly in front of goal, 10-10, Norwood Central 7-6, 22-point ball game, 5 minutes into the final term. James West has booted 3. His number is 9. He's kicked 3. Would love to have kicked 9 goals. James West, we're right behind him. And he goes now. The kick, it's on its way. It's coming back. What's it done? I think he snuck it in. Wait on the goal umpire. Yes, it's time. Goal number 4 to James West. They go to 11-10. Central's at 7-6. Let's go around the grounds. Thanks to Aces Bar and Bistro in the Central Market Plaza.
And the winners in the AFL today were...
Thank you, Andrew. As KG works his way back to Channel 9, Norwood appear to have the game in the bag. Obbs down to the centre. He's made a good recovery. Up towards Rowe. Put up one hand, but good mark there by Lee. Lee towards the grandstand centre wing. The Bulldogs have to answer quickly. Cotton couldn't take it. He's supported there well by young Chambers. Kicks straight on the man. Obbs working hard at ground level. The handball had to be good, and it was good. Easto, sweeping handball, finds James. Out to Jarman. Jarman gets around McGowan. They're conceding ground. Oh, taken beautifully by Gurnham. Big turnover here. The bounce doesn't come back to him. Wrapped up by McCormack. Wonderful tackle. The ball's still free now. It's sat upon. And unbelievable tackle there by McCormack, Tim. Really did cause a turnover again.
Pretty handy tackle by McCormack. And Gurdon was screaming forward into the 50. Probably should have kicked it, I thought.
Bounce down now, 55 out from the Bulldogs' goal. Plenty of players at the fall of the ball. Home tried to work his way through a pack and did so, but it's Bowman. Bowman at centre half backs held sway all day. Works it up towards Smart, who couldn't take it. Cotter tried to burst his way through a pack, was held onto. Surely umpire, it won't matter, they've got the numbers. A bit of pace on the outside. Was it Steinburner again? It was. Up towards full forward, pushing and shoving and holding. It's all going on. The umpire's letting everything go. They dive on top of the football. It's 20 metres out from the Bulldogs' goal. And we're going to see a bounce down by umpire Richard Fox.
7 minutes into this last quarter, the Bulldogs coming back 7-6, 48 to Norwood, 11-10, 76. So they've still got an opportunity, the Bulldogs. 30 metres out in front of the Bulldogs' goals. Can they get another one? They need one at this particular point of time. Coffey pushes the ball over to Girdham. He's tackled by McIntosh. Great work. Comes to Shell. Over the top of the ball comes Harvey there. He pushes it out to the wing. Real good contest here. Stevens over the ball. And the umpire, just in this last couple of seconds, Tim, is just letting the ball go, not making any decision at all.
Yeah, not playing too many free kicks, which is probably a good thing. Let the play go on.
28-point ball game. Really fired up now since McCormack ran through a couple of players. A big thump back towards his Bulldogs half-forward line. Here comes the man in question, McCormack. Put the head down and tried to go straight through. He's going nowhere. Held up. And once again, a ball up 65 metres out from the Bulldogs' goal right half-forward flank. Green in there too, so a couple of fiery customers, Peter Green and McCormack, bounce down. Up they go. Norwood have won 10 out of 11. Looks like they might make it 11 out of 12. McGowan quick hands to Stevens on the right boot. He's a natural left footer. Dan Tosh here, and also McCormack clash. Green took on two. He can't get the ball clear. McCormack's been in everything. Finds Jarman, who copped one high. The hand went across the ball. Scott on that occasion. They go back in after McIntosh. Heavy stuff here. Free kick Centrals. I didn't see what for, Tim.
Yeah, hanging on. Sean Chambers held on to without the ball. Free kick was there.
Comment there from the Bulldog and Crow rover, Tim Cook. Now they must kick this one. It's with Sean Chambers. Played reserves with North Adelaide. And if ever he wanted to kick an important goal, this could be it, because they trail at the moment by 28 points. 9 minutes have gone on the clock. Football on 5AA, thanks to Adelaide's Channel 7. We're right behind him. He puts it up high, starting left and stays left. It might work its way through for a point. Lenny Pascoe puts up the hands, and it does go through for a point. Centrals 7-7, Norwood 11-10. The margin back to 27 points on the Samsung scoreboard.
Just waiting for the Norwood player. Jerry Diantoki will take it out from full-back. And kicks to himself, playing on now to the outer wing. Kicks to a 50-50, looking for Bowman, who's had the better of Hicks today for most of the day.
OK, Timmy, well done, son. There's no question about that. I wanted you to make a comment, not go on with the commentary.
Sorry,
not
mate.
about no problems at all. A little bit of a bad miss there by Chalmers. Out on the outer side. The central umpire Jarman's around the ball. Bowman's been sensational all day.
They need a goal
McIntosh,
quick,
they certainly do, the Bulldogs, as the ball goes down. Up they go. Over the top is East. No, it's big Lenny Pascoe. He finds the player out to Pitt. Pitt gets the ball on the outer side and pushes it down to the big fella in Downsborough. And he marks on the outer side. About 50 or 65 metres out from the Norwood goal. I think they're home, the Redlegs, but big Downsborough fires the ball into centre half forward. Up they fly, punched away. There's McGowan. McGowan over to Schwert. Schwert goes back around the play. They need a goal desperately here as it comes to Scotty Lee. Now, what can the Scotty Lee do? He pushes the ball down to the big Coffey. He's pumping, his legs are going up 100 miles an hour. Down to Stevens. Beautiful work. No, over the top to Sally Saywell. Play on with the umpire, and Shell's going to grab him. He pushes the ball over to Hicks. Hicks fires the ball into right into the full forward line. Beautiful work down there by Lockwood, but the experience of Pitt just manages to take the ball over the boundary and out of play. What are we, about 11 minutes into this last quarter? They desperately need a goal here, Wilds.
Certainly do. Waiting now for Pascoe. Works his way. Oh, Lockwood came in from the side. Did it well, but then lost possession. Bowman camps himself right on top of the football. And once again, a ball up about 25 out from the Bulldogs' goal. 7-7 Centrals, Norwood 11-10. The margin 27 points on the Samsung scoreboard. Not a bad game of footy. A lot of mistakes, but they've had a real dip at it. Pascoe towards the boundary line. He's got Harvey there, who's played very well. Bumped off the footy by Saywell, and it comes off hands and out of bounds once again.
13 minutes into this last quarter and 27 points in arrears, the Bulldogs. 13 metres around from their goal. As they throw the ball in, Coffey's trying everything to get hold of the ball. It comes to Saywell. They're all in there. McGowan's in there. It comes to number 16 for Centrals, which is Holm. And Holm fires. And the ball goes out of play. Touch, says the boundary umpire. Harvey down there limping. Jerry Dantoshia, Shell, McCormack's down there. They're really under pressure. 27-point buffer, though. As they throw the ball in, it comes to big Lenny Pascoe. He's taken a couple of important ones. He pushes the ball off to Harvey. And Harvey just looks further down the ground, Wilds, and just dribbles the ball. Still plenty of time left for the Bulldogs, though.
AFL winners today, the Western Bulldogs upset Carlton by 6 goals. Geelong, a close game, shocking kicking, beat Collingwood by 8 points. St Kilda beat North Melbourne, reigning premiers, by 54 points. So up and down St Kilda, but they certainly are a force to be reckoned with. And here at the Elizabeth Oval, it's 27-point ball game in favour of the Redlegs. Now, the play's been in the right full forward pocket for the last 2 or 3 minutes. Up goes Pascoe, with him is Coffey. Comes to McGowan, who's had a good second half. Taken by Holm. It spins back towards goal. I think it's spun through. Great kick there by Holm. The margin back to 21 points is still time. 13 minutes on the time clock. It's 11-10 to 8-7. We've got a game on our hands now. Let's go around the grounds thanks to Aces Bar Central Market.
And let's check all the final scores at the MCG. Geelong 9-26-18. Collingwood 10-12-72. Lift yourself, Rick. At Optus Oval, Carlton went down to the Bulldogs 16-14-110. Carlton 11-8-74. And at Waverley, St Kilda 20-13-133. North Melbourne 11-13-79. A 54-point win there, although they may be an adjustment to the score in St Kilda's favour by a point. We'll check that for you. North Adelaide 15-4-94, Port 8-11-59, and West 12-5-77. Sturt 9-14-68 at Loxton.
21 points in arrears here, the Bulldogs, as Malloy gets hold of the ball, pushed down, and I think Smart's going to get right underneath the drop of the ball, and the umpire has come in and said right in the middle of his back, number 45, Nathan Smart. He's kicked a couple of goals today. And what would he be, Wilts? He'd be about 20 metres out. Very, very important kick. Rowie gets hold of the football and just walks him back. And Tim, I think if he kicks this one, I reckon it's all over.
Well, I got brought up on the thought that it's not all over till the fat lady sings. So
he's trying to find the fat lady, though, Tim. Is she around here?
I still think there's enough time.
In he comes, Nathan Smart, and it goes right over the top of the goal umpire's head. And it brings up their 12th goal, and they go out to 12 goals 10 to Central District's 8 goals 7.
Pretty soft free kick, that one, I thought. The umpires have let the play go on for most of this quarter, and to pick a free kick out about 15 metres out in front of Norwood's goal was a little bit soft, I thought.
15 minutes into this last quarter.
Back in the centre too.
Another goal back in the centre. And the Bulldogs, well, they need now another 3 or 4 goals if they're going to win this game. As the ball goes down, up they fly. Big Lenny Pascoe pushes the ball, comes to Harvey. He's right over the top and played very, very well indeed. It stacks on the mill as it comes to James. He's played very well. It comes to Obbs, over to Tyson, back to Obbs, and he pushes the ball down. I think the Redlegs are just getting a little bit of a run here after the initial Bulldogs real onslaught. He pushes the ball out. It comes to Squirt. And the big fella there in Downsborough throws him over the boundary, and it's out of play right on the, about the half-forward flank at the northern end.
The goal kickers for Norwood. Well, West has kicked 4, 3 to Smart and 2 to Malloy. And only one multiple goal scorer for Central's Jared Cotton's kicked 2. The rest all singles. There's a handball from Rowe. Looks to McIntosh. He backs himself in, then ran out of space. And the ball goes out of bounds, left half-forward flank for the Redlegs. Time ticking away now, 16 minutes gone. And Norwood a very handy lead of 27 points. 12-10 to 8-7 on the Samsung scoreboard. The boundary throw in again. Tired players have been at it all day. Tyson, good handball to Harvey, cleverly around the body to McIntosh. He's inside 50 on that familiar left boot. Up towards full forward. Smart courage. Ran straight into his teammate then. Probably not the right thing to do in the end. Certainly showed courage. And we'll see a ball up 25 metres out from the Redlegs goal. And Tim, even you would have to concede that the time is slowly getting away from Central District.
Yeah, I think you made a very good point before, David. There's certainly some very tired players out there. Certainly physical early, and certainly takes its toll on the boys. And yeah, Norwood's certainly looking the goods at the moment.
Well, 15 minutes into this last quarter, they're not out of it right. They've probably got 7 or 8 minutes left as the ball's right in the full forward area for Norwood. It pushes the ball out to Hicks. What's he doing down there? Comes to the fighting errata. Here comes their last. Can they really manoeuvre something? Goes over the top to Tyson. James is on over the ball. Comes to Pascoe. He lines the ball up and fires it down to centre half forward. But a very good mark down there to Cotter. And they really do need to do something as he goes to the outer side and sees Stevens. He's got hold of the ball. Can they palm the ball off? Over comes to Jones, I think it is. He streams down the middle of the ground. He punched the ball to centre half forward. There he is, Cotton, right on the 50-metre line. They need to do something here as the players. There's nobody down. He looks further afield and he goes out to Saywell. And Saywell's on about an angle. He's right in the right forward pocket. Number 29, bald as a badger. And he needs to kick this 35 metres out. Comes in. What can he do? Beautiful kick right up on top of the right-hand post, and it's trying its best for him. But Timmy really didn't take his time on that kick.
No, probably could have settled a bit, and I thought the win that David's talked about all day might have brought that back around for him. But
yeah, dropped away too. I think the breeze, looking at that sock, it's rather limp on the far side. Waiting now for Dan Toshier. Close game at Loxton too. We'll check the score with Andrew Pearce shortly. Sturt and West. And North Adelaide looked too good for the Magpies at Prospect. The big searching kick back towards halfback. Steinberner made a rare error. Couldn't quite take the mark, but the youngsters played very well. They've got the numbers, the Bulldogs. They try and work it through some congestion. Girdham, clever tap to Green. Green's got home at centre half forward. Tyson waited, should have gone to the footy. Ends up with Stevens. It's a standing start, kicks it up high. Pitt underneath the footy. Geister jumped high over the pack. Couldn't take the mark. They need a mark. It ends up with Dan Toshier. Under pressure was good to Daniels. Jarman on all fours to Rowe. Gee, the handball's good out under pressure. It ends up with Pitt. He's on the right boot looking for McIntosh. McIntosh 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts, and he takes a good mark out of side.
Yeah, he's a fantastic player as Gary McIntosh, and he's just feeling he's back on the outer side there. He can see looking down, directly down ground at 18 minutes mark in the last quarter. He really does think that if I've just got to hold the play up here, do a short play, but he decides to go long, and he does, and he fires the ball down to the wing. Up they fly right over the top. Jimmy West has found it in position there. It comes to Nathan Smart, and he pushes the ball straight down. I think the umpire looks further forward, Nathan. It comes to the big Downsborough. He looks further down to the ever-reliable Tyson. And great work there by the big fella in Downsborough to see Tyson out the corner of his eye. And he could have had a snap, Wills, but he saw the dangerous Tyson just about 30 metres out directly in front.
Tim Tyson started well, kicked the first 2 goals of the game, and also finishing quite well.
Yeah, I thought Stevens certainly tightened up after the initial 10 minutes of that first quarter where Tyson dominated, but one of the rare few good things that Downs was done for the day.
In comes Tyson, and he goes bang and just misses to the left-hand side. So a little bit of a let-off there for the Bulldogs. 19 minutes into the last quarter. Norwood, they've been probably the better side all day. And they go out to 12 goals, 11-84. To the Bulldogs, 8 goals, 8-56.
Tim, was that a bit of a sledge, a Crow versus a Port Power then?
No, not at all.
Not at all. No, he has been quite though, Downsbury. You're right. Waiting now for the ball to be brought back into play. They've lacked the manpower today, the Bulldogs. Jimmy Windoff in the first quarter. Of course, Conway, Cook and also Dew out of the side from last week. So 4 pretty good players out of the team. Geister on the far side. Bowman in pursuit. He goes onto the left boot. McCormack and Green, 2 rough, tough customers. And McCormack wins out in the one-on-one. He doesn't waste any time. He's got Jarman, who lurks across centre half back. Good vision, looking for Rowe. Rowe from the side will win the free kick. And the umpires pay the advantage. Stephen Rowe won't want that. He wanted the ball as Obbs works it now to centre half forward. Big thump away from Hereda. It comes to ground. West Camp's on top of a player there. They're just content to hold it in. As time ticks away, 21 minutes gone, final term. 5AA football thanks to Adelaide's Channel 7.
Well, you can't say the Bulldogs chucked it in. They desperately really thought that they could win this in the last quarter. Stevie Wright at 3-quarter time warmed them up as the ball goes down. Downsborough puts it down to James. He pushes it out to Jarman. Jarman sees Rowe on the outer side. What's he going to do with it? He sees big Lenny Pascoe in the centre of the ground, and he goes bang down to centre half forward. Up they fly now. Pushed down, I think the centre player there is Jimmy West. And he's kicked 4 goals today.
Gee, a bad mistake from Hereda. Tried to take the mark over the top, and West is too strong. Should have thumped it away.
4 goals to Jimmy West. He's marked magnificently. He didn't have much to do in that first quarter, but the second, third, and this last quarter, he's been probably the difference between the 2 sides. As I think it's young Harvey coming off and King coming back on. Jimmy West for his 5th. In he comes, fires the ball right over the top of the goal umpire's head, and that's a lovely kick. He is a magnificent kicker of the football, and he brings up his 5th goal. Let's go around the grounds for Aces Bar.
And the AFL winners today were Geelong by 8 points over Collingwood, Western Bulldogs by 36 over Carlton, and St Kilda by 54 over North Melbourne. In the SANFL at Prospect Oval, North Adelaide 17-4, 106, Port 9-11, 65. At Loxton West 13-5, 83 to the Double Blues 10-16, 76.
Back in the centre at the Elizabeth Oval, thanks to that report, thanks to Aces Bar at the central market as Jarman moves up towards centre half forward. They're still going hard, the Redlegs. The Dogs are trying. They've run out of options. The ball now centre wing, grandstand side. Oh, James caught one high. Clumsy tackle in the end there by Stevens. Got to go to Brett James. He's got King wide, Swirt turned around, put up, very casual in the end. Out came Jones to the agitator, and Scotty Lee's played pretty well. Lee backs himself in under pressure, kicks it out on the full. In fact, he ran out of bounds first. And good decision by the boundary umpire there. Wasn't panicked. And he will throw it in. The Norwood player claiming it. Just obscured there partly, Rick.
Yes, I think that he was out of play. Scotty Lee was out of play.
Downsborough now up against Coffey. Downs for the Norwood camp and also the Port pad. Just like to see him get into some sort of form. The boundary line might win out. Stevens rolls once, twice and goes out of play. Time ticking away, 23, almost 24 minutes gone. And it's Norwood 13-11-90. Central 8-8-56. The margin 34 points on the Samsung scoreboard.
Yes, well, Norwood have been truly the better side all day today as Jarm comes to Jarman. He pushes the ball out to James. Very good hand pass as it comes to Rowe. He looks down to Malloy. It punched over the top of that player. It comes down to number 25 there, which is very, very good play, and he goes to the outer side. There's a race for the football over there. It comes to Obbs. By golly, he's really a fast player he is as he puts the ball right up into the teeth of goal. Jimmy West parks himself over the top of there, comes to King. King looks down the ground. He goes to goal. Don't tell me he's kicked it. The goal umpire goes back and says, thank you very much. I think that's wrap up the chickens, Timmy.
That's certainly has wrapped up the chickens, Rick, whatever that means. But, yeah, Norwood certainly cruising away with the game now with a 6-goal, 3 lead.
Yes, and the margin out to 40 points. So, Rick, I think we've done our dough. You did back Norwood 1-39. They've let you down. They've gone out to 40, 14-11 to 8-8. And Central's in the last 5 minutes just lacking a little bit. And Norwood have been the team that really have powered on. It's a top team plays third. Norwood haven't won a grand final since 84. Centrals have never won a grand final, although they've participated in the last 2. Back in the centre, up go the ruckman, Lenny Pascoe against Coffey. He comes back to Pascoe. There's his handball, 15-metre handball up towards centre half forward. Out came Cotter. Finds a teammate there in McGowan who works it up towards Saywell. Saywell put out one hand. The other one was held. The umpire didn't pay the free kick. It ends up with Tyson to Jarman. Jarman with good vision, always has good vision. Works it back towards centre half forward. Downsborough almost plucked a good mark. Central's equal to the task. It's Scotty Lee. Fires one up towards half forward. Dan Toshia. Also Saywell. Spills free. Girdham had to beat 4. He beat a couple. Couldn't beat the third. Shoulder Bowman. Oh, Cashley gets around a player. Girdham went straight at him. It's a high ball towards half forward flank. James tumbles over. He gets crunched to the ground. Big Downsborough to McIntosh. Macca with super skills finds Downsborough again. He's at left half forward. Works it towards Malloy. Harada held his ground. Should have been a free kick and is.
Yes, a very good mark there by Harada. We need the boys to get another couple of goals. What are we, 25 minutes? There's not going to be a lot of time left. It comes to Stevens, back to Hicks. Hicks looks down the ground for Saywell. Is he going to mark it? He's pushed underneath the footy and the umpire saw it. Come on, Sally, we need a point. That's all we need. He takes the ball over the top to Shell. Shell stands the mark. Sally Saywell comes in, looks further afield. He goes into the centre of the ground. And a very good work there by Geister. He looks down the ground looking for the Central's player down there, and the big fella Arnold. And it goes over the top. Lockwood, it goes over the top of his head. It comes to Lockwood. Come on, son, get hold of the footy. But Obbs clears away as only Obbs can do, and he streams down the outer side.
You never let money get in the way of a good call, Rick, as the ball goes back towards half forward. Cotton's there. Away go the Bullies, though. The Bulldogs towards Steinberg. This young man can play footy, believe me. Kicks it towards centre half forward. Out comes Lockwood, and he takes a good mark, but it's all Redlegs back there. Now, Saywell's gone short. He should chip it over. Now he does and finds Schwert. Schwert right on the 50, just out of kicking range. A player loose in the pocket. There's no leads forthcoming. Waiting for Green now. Lockwood should be getting back there, providing some sort of contest. The siren imminent. They go short again, so they've worked at 15 metres closer to goal. And McGowan, who's not the biggest kick of the footy, will have a shot from 45 out on a 45-degree angle.
Well, 26 minutes into the last quarter. McGowan has got it about 35 metres out.
I reckon 40.
This is almost a grand final kick for us, Wills, as he comes in.
Rick, you only had $5
I know. Here he comes. McGowan, 30 metres out. Can he save the bacon? He almost runs over the top of the ball there. And Pitt standing the mark. Now, Wills, 35. Can he do it?
I don't think.
In he comes. Very confident he is as he puts the ball up and it goes right into the centre of the goals and jumped over the top one. I think the goal umpire's going to give it a goal, and he has. You little beauty. And McGowan, 35 metres out. 27 minutes into the last quarter, Tim, and not a bad kick.
Certainly a good kick. Obviously made you two blokes pretty happy, but...
It's not over yet, Timmy. Still a bit of time. 28 minutes gone on the time clock, but yeah, it was a good kick. Did you think he could boot that from that distance?
Yeah, I think any player worth his salt in SANFL League football should be able to kick 35 metres for goal.
Well, I thought it was nearer 40, but we won't argue over 5 metres. Well done to Ricky McGowan. Bang goes the ball back in the centre, almost full time. Up goes Coffey, backhanders it down towards McGowan. Girdham still trying to work on 8 cylinders. It ends up with Tyson. Norwood going to attack. The loose kick wasn't good, and it's marked there by Hicks, who doesn't waste any time. Gee, I'd like to see Lee's stats. You reckon he's had his share of the footy today? Up towards centre half forward. Bit of pushing and shoving. Stevens. The ball comes down to big Lenny Pascoe. In turn to McIntosh. They needed quick hands. Tyson runs into trouble, then out of trouble. Out towards Dan Toshier to King. One-on-one here. Oh, hard at the footy was Scotty Lee. Did it well too. Lee a sweeping handball to Girdham. Girdham at centre wing grandstand side. He draws the play to a tired-looking Home. Home at right half forward. The Dogs go forward. Out comes Daniels with pace. Did well. And the siren sounds. The Rednecks have won. They've made it 11 from 12. And the Bulldogs, they were gallant. They had a lot of players missing today. And they've gone down in the final analysis. 14-11, 96 to the Bulldogs, 9-8, 62. And that margin is 34 points in favour of Norwood. Quickly checking the goal kickers. West booted 5. He was a difference there at full forward. 2 to Malloy, 3 to Smart, 2 to Tyson. And for Central Districts, Cotton kicked a couple and singles to the rest. And the important one there, and then Ricky McGowan kicked one with a couple of minutes to go. Repeating the news here from the Elizabeth Oval, the Samsung scoreboard. Norwood, another victory. They played very well. 14-11, 96. Central District 9-8, 62. The margin 34 points. We'll take a break and come back with Tim Cook's thoughts and also Rick Davies. You're listening to 5AA Football.